Bite-sized bits and discussions are on the way. This is Bucket Bites.
Hot dog.
What?
Get your hot dog.
Get your hot dogs here.
Get your hot
God,
dog.
dude,
Lindsay.
I also hear you're a dragon slayer. Or is that
That's
just
what
the
they call
nickname?
me. That's what the ladies call me.
Like, I don't rage at people. I get very passive aggressive. So there was a lot of like, oh, that's fantastic.
I'm an immature child.
Did the day end well done?
It did. We went to go get ice cream at like this little pizza place.
Instead of sending bombs and missiles to Ukraine, we are sending Teslas because they are better improved explosive devices.
I feel really weird about owning a Tesla right now.
Sentient robots taking over the world.
You know, people have seen my videos. Like, it's just strange.
This is Bucket Bites.
This is Bucket Bites.
This is Bucket Bites.
This is Bucket Bites.
This is
Bucket Bites.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Bucket Bites. I'm Ryan Papa Post. With me, I've got Dominic, just Dominic, Andres Reyes, and Suggestive Gaming's own Josh Picard.
Hi, I'm suggestive.
You are.
Oh, you're
very much
suggestive.
I guess I am.
Yeah.
So we learned something today before the show, and that is, if you don't want your family to go to your wedding, you just have a destination wedding. Right? That's what we learned as we were like queuing up the show today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, because Andres was saying, like, you know, if you want to save money, have a destination wedding. And I was saying, if you don't want anybody to come, have a destination wedding. Because generally speaking, everybody's got to pay their own way. And, you know, if you want less people there, just tell them they got to pay to go to your wedding. They're not going to want to come.
And I partially agree. I do partially agree, but the people who care about you from both sides, I mean, they call a medium-sized wedding anywhere from 30 people to 50 people. That's medium-sized wedding.
Yeah.
You know, so if you want a smaller wedding, destination wedding is perfect. And if you want a medium-sized wedding, you might not get that. I mean, technically, my wedding is a destination wedding. Everybody has to fly in to Texas. It's a little bit easier, though. We're in the States, but her family's coming from Arizona. My family's coming from Wisconsin and all over. Everybody has to fly in. And so I was expecting us only to get out of a ton of invites. We invited like 240 people. I was expecting to get like 30. And we actually got about 60. So, you know, that's, again, most of them her side because, you know, everybody hates me. But again, we still have about 60 people. So I was really surprised at that. And now you're right, though, Josh. If we would have gone overseas where it's even more expensive on a destination wedding, we probably would have cut that in half to, again, 20 to 30.
Oh, yeah. At most, probably.
Mm-hmm.
That was just funny. I was laughing about it as we were pulling up. I said pulling up, like we're driving here to the show, like we're just driving. We're pulling up to the show. It was just funny. I almost said it again.
Wow. Yeah.
No, but I was laughing about that because Reyes, your wedding very much is a destination wedding for everybody, and I'm like, no, guys, we're gonna zip it. We gotta open with that because, like, I don't know, like that is a good way to think about it. There is because you're central. You're not going anywhere. You don't gotta do jack shit. You just gotta make sure people come to you. So like for you, it's not a destination, but for everybody else is.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. Let me ask you guys this: do you think it would be more likely then, if people were traveling to you anyways, to have it somewhere else, like in Hawaii or, you know, just some other? Because I know that was one of the things you guys were thinking about, Reyes.
Yeah, we thought about it, but, you know, the costs just increase exorbitantly for our guests, right? And like if you have a destination wedding, you as the groom and the bride, you yourself, you get incentives when you go these places. Like, hey, if you get 10 or 20 people, we're going to give you discounts. We're going to put in the food and we're going to put in the plates. We're going to put in the DJ. You don't have to worry about that. It's all in your package. It's good. Having it in the States, you don't get that. You have to outsource and get all your vendors yourself for every single one of those. So your prices go up exorbitantly in the States for that, for the groom and the bride, versus doing it overseas. But vice versa, in contrast, your guests then are the ones who are going to be paying those exorbitant prices, flying there and staying there at these places, and where prices have just gone up everywhere. So when we thought about that and we wanted our families to come together for the first time, we were like, there's just no way, and there's no way for us living in Texas to have two different weddings in Arizona and Wisconsin, as some people suggested to us.
I mean,
are you out your dang mind?
Cheaper for me. Cheaper for me. I mean, but so that's actually a really tough thing to think about, because you want to have as many people come and not have to double up. Like, I've known people, especially over the COVID times, where they had to have multiple weddings, and people get pissed about that, having to go to 2 weddings. It's like, well, you already had one. Why are we doing another one? Spoiled? I'm just kidding. But
yep. I wonder who we're talking about.
No, I'm not. That's a few people I know of. I'm not aiming that at any one person. But so yeah, I think it was funny. Just the whole line of, if you don't want your family to come to your wedding, just have a destination wedding. That tickled me pretty good. Do you know what is another thing you can do if you don't like your family, like particularly your mom, as we go into Mother's Day weekend?
Yeah, great timing.
Chat GPT can just talk to your mom for you.
Oh,
right?
That sounds sad.
Yeah.
Go for it, Riz.
Chat GPT is everywhere now. So
is Chat GPT my mom?
Everywhere. But it's not for your mom, but 1-800-Flowers, they actually have built it into their website, where if you don't even care for your mom or writing anything, like, I don't care, write me something, it'll write you out it'll write you out thoughtful poems and songs on your Mother's Day cards for you, and so you don't have to think about it. You can be lazy and be like, whatever, outsource it.
Well, hold on. But how much different is that than going and just buying a card off the shelf at a store, though?
Well, at least when you buy the card off the shelf,
you're picking what it says. That's true.
Well, and also it's expected. Like, your mom's reading it and seeing it printed there. Like, if you're handwriting like something from ChatGPT and she thinks you wrote it, there's a different level.
Is it? Is it really insensitive? Or can you kind of be almost like catfished? Or will she be proud of you for being like, hey, it's a time saver and thank you for getting me something?
I mean, she doesn't have to know. Like, well,
like my mom would be like that.
What mama don't know, don't hurt her, right?
This was just a South Park episode, by the way.
No, was it really? Wait, hold on.
Well, it was texting their girlfriends using ChatGPT.
Oh, it was I think
really?
Stan, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
When you said "what mama don't know won't hurt her," reminds me of the Water Boy.
Yeah. Oh man, I really want to watch that movie again now. We talked about
nothing
it
stopping you, Post. Nothing stopping you.
I gotta find out
after the show.
I'm going to now. Watch party in the Discord. Here we go. Oh, just kidding. We don't do that. We can't. That's legally not allowed.
We don't do that. No.
So we all buy it separately and we sync it up and we hit play at the same time.
Yeah. Or we could do an Amazon.
Movie night.
Anyways, that's. Wait, but hey, talking about, because ChatGPT, AI, like we talk about AI, it's like the biggest fucking thing, and I feel bad because we talk about it all the time. But like, I feel like new stuff just kind of keeps popping in all over and over and over and over again. But hey, did you guys know that Elon Musk can't be sued?
Oh no!
What? Yeah, well, you know why, right? Because because his defense lawyers are claiming that anything he's ever said could be easily deepfaked. So how could you know he actually ever really said that?
Wow,
it's true. It's true though.
And
yeah.
When I read that, I'm like, it blew my fucking mind. I mean, outside of date stamps. But you could fake a website to have old date stamps, right? So it's just another wrinkle in the whole fucking like AI generation.
I just want to say preemptively that everything I have ever and will ever say on this podcast is a deep fake.
Very smart. Very smart.
just in case.
I
Just
think
there we go.
I think we should all take that stance legally.
This podcast is a deepfake. None of us are real. Dom doesn't even exist.
Yeah,
I mean,
like only an AI could come up with that hair right there. Look at that. Like really. I'm sorry, Dom. I'm just kidding. I love your hair. That's what an
so
AI
many
would say.
people
Just
are
jealous.
jumping on this AI train. It's ridiculous.
No, I mean it's hilarious. It's not even ridiculous. It's hilarious. Just how open ended and just explosive it is. Okay. It's ridiculous. I concede.
A little bit.
Yes.
So yeah, no, I like. Could you like? How do you think that will hold up in court though?
It won't.
I don't think it would either. But what's the word for that when like you remember something a certain way, but it was never that way? There's a word for that.
The Mandela effect?
Yeah, the Mandela. Yeah, I'm sorry, the Mandela effect. So like it could have, you could pair those two pieces of the puzzle together and really form an argument.
I think for a little bit we're gonna have, at least in like the legal system, we're gonna have something like how DNA evidence was like during the OJ trial, where it was so. I'm not. This isn't a joke, Dom.
The OJ trial is so funny though.
All right. But like where like they had DNA evidence, but it was like so new, nobody knew to trust it, where it was like, nah, that DNA thing, it's all just crap. Whereas I think it's going to be that way for AI for a little bit, where I think we are going to need like a big case where something was a deep fake and somebody actually suffers from it. I mean, God forbid, but I think that would be the only way that it gets taken seriously.
Dude, the implications of a case like that though could totally change the trajectory of just even the internet. Like, dude, they wanna, with all the censoring of the internet that they want to do now already. Like, can you imagine if a kid? What do you mean? Like, like porn in Utah, right? Or that's not what I actually mean, but like, they want to think about all the other larger countries that try to limit what you see on social media. Like that's why
Pakistan
the whole,
was
like,
a big one.
Was it? Like I generally don't.
I believe I believe it was Pakistan. There's like I want to make sure before I'm speaking about it, but
it's okay because you're an AI generation.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It doesn't matter what I say. In Pakistan there were protests going on, so the government just like blocked all access to social media so that they can't like organize protests.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So,
dude, so scary, bro. Just the implications.
And that's exactly it. The implications of it and how scary it is. I mean, the supposed godfather of AI, Jeffrey Hinton, right? And he's the guy who's the computer scientist and a psychologist who did works on the artificial networks to try and develop out AI from like 2013. He's called the godfather of it. He just came out that AI is the most pressing concern for humanity, even more than climate change. Because it's like opening Pandora's box. Everybody's moving so fast. You've opened it, but there's no laws. There's nothing yet. To try to realize the consequences of it. I mean, some other studies I saw earlier this week, it was interesting that there was a study showing that for ChatGPT, you could program it with all of these attack vectors with like malicious actors to hack into a program or find faults in a code anywhere.
Okay.
And it would instantaneously, in milliseconds, find faults in that code or break into programs. They programmed it to do so, and people are already doing this. I mean,
well, isn't there? There's already software out there that people have written similar to like how an AI would look into that stuff, though. Like, I don't think that's too different. You know what I'm saying?
It is different.
It's different
in a big way. Because I mean, if you can, because the thing is, and like when you talk about code, like in general, and this is going to get me as the degree in computer science guy going. But when you talk about code, you're writing cases, right? Like you're writing if this happens, then this happens, right?
Mhm.
So you understand all of the cases as the developer, as the programmer. When you train a neural network, you train it based on data. You don't know exactly how it's making the decisions. You just know that you feed it data and expect certain data back.
Okay.
So you don't understand exactly how or why it's making the decisions it is. So that's where that kind of ambiguity and scariness comes from.
Oh. Okay.
Mhm.
Well,
Kind of go from white box to black box, honestly.
And it's crazy. It's crazy when you watch it, and I'll see if I can find the video out, and I'll share it with you all later.
Sure.
But it was something suspected that it could do, but they proved that it actually can.
Okay.
So it's one of those things where it's like, okay, wow. I mean, there's a lot of implications behind this, and so people are kind of running forward though without any realization of the consequences of it, which other
Mhm.
people have warned, like Elon Musk before, like, hey, slow down.
Luckily, in this group, we do have somebody who's working towards a degree in cybersecurity. So I'm going to turn to our resident expert, Dom.
What's up?
How do we stop this?
Tell us, young blood.
Pour water on it.
Pour water on all of the computers. I like this.
Pour water on everything that moves.
Everything that moves, huh?
Everything. Eventually, it'll stop working.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Eventually, you're right. You're absolutely right. I'm not even going to argue with that. I don't even know how to argue to that point. So, before
But speaking of AI, though,
yeah,
sorry.
go for it. No, please.
Google's stepping into the AI realm. If you guys haven't seen or not, and they email you sometimes they email you saying like, you want to be testing out this shit for you, and it's like, sure. So if you sign up for their wait list, they'll eventually send you like a link to their AI thing they're testing. Like, I know the one that I participated in was like Google Lab. I think it was something like that. I think it might be similar to like Chat GPT or something like that.
I got that today.
But
I'm looking
you could
for
like
it.
type a prompt, and then it'll bring up like sources or like things that you can use with it. It was interesting. It's been a while since I messed with it though.
Search Labs is what they're calling it.
Search Labs? Yeah, that's what it was. And
was it
that
like
was
sent
kind
through
of
an
fun
email
to play with. So yeah, they ask if you want to participate in it, and then if you through Gmail, and then if you say you want to participate in it, they'll say we'll put you on a wait list and we'll email you again when you're ready to go.
Oh.
Yeah, so I got to mess with that before the college semester ended.
Yeah, and from what I'm reading here, supposedly it was trained on academic papers and 100 plus languages. And it states it may be the future of search. So instead of gathering up a bunch of links, sponsored and just, the popularity of it, answers to queries will be written by Google's AI and will appear at the top of the page for some searches. So it will be written, and every single one will be new for the individual writing the question. Interesting.
That sounds pretty cool, but like it's still kind of scary.
Is that like a super advanced "I'm feeling lucky" button?
Kinda, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good way to put it.
This is what Ask Jeeves tried to be in the year 2000. It's like, why look through results? We'll just tell you the answer.
Jeeves is still around. It's just Ask now.
It's just
but
Ask, yeah.
But it's still out there. It's kind of funny. Wow. Any last thoughts on AI just before we transition?
No,
maybe it could develop better PC ports.
Dude, holy shit. Right? Oh my god, don't even. Dude. Before we start shitting on games, I want to go into our weekly segment called for new releases. And really there's only one this week of I would say of relevance.
There's another Diablo beta, if you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, that game releases in 2 weeks, doesn't it? So I mean,
Something
it's
like
just
that, yeah.
Do you know what? The last time we had a Diablo beta, I was playing it, and that's when Bucket Fight started. So I'm going to.
Oh
make
shit!
sure
Let's not talk about it.
We're just not gonna anything. It doesn't exist.
Dear God.
But Tears of the Kingdom, Zelda released today. And just quick shout out to Suggestive Gaming for putting out that last video.
My worst performing video of all time.
That's insane. I saw that and I couldn't believe it, and it's actually really interesting to me. I could not believe it. So
I have no idea why. For no rhyme or reason, that video is just not doing well. But
that's well. Either way,
that's
either
YouTube.
Way, yeah, right. But I did watch the first. I don't know. It's not that long. It's only a 20-something minute, right?
Yeah, and only like 10 minutes of it is actually Breath of the Wild, and then
Right.
I go into Age of Calamity, which is non-canon, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
It's weird because your Dead Island video did really good.
I didn't expect Dead Island to do well at all. And that video
Really?
fucking...
This is how it works.
I guess I'll make a Dead Island video to, kill time before Zelda, and then... it makes no sense. I've been doing this shit for like 7 years. You'd think I'd understand it a little bit at this point, but
Right?
still... Just flip a coin. Maybe it'll do well. Maybe it won't. Who knows?
I was
insane.
just thinking the same thing. I was like, you've been doing this for a while. I was like, I would think, you'd kind of gauge, what's going to really hit.
I'm always
the
surprised.
target audience.
Well, maybe it's because so many people actually played and finished the last game. That
Yeah,
they
and
didn't
also
feel like they
Nintendo made
needed-
like their own recap video on YouTube. So I
Oh.
think,
Did they? Oh
yeah,
shit! That
I
might
think
be
that might
rough.
have bit into my target audience there.
Well,
Damn you,
know,
Nintendo!
I know, right?
I still know where to go to watch the best What You Need to Know videos.
Thank you,
That's-
because my
that's a
voice is
suggestive
way
thing.
better.
Yes, I didn't listen to the other one, so I can't compare. But I would.
But you just know.
I know 100%. But yeah, no, the game came out, and people are saying that it's actually better than what they initially heard about it. And I'm kind of curious, Josh. Like, I know you're not a big Zelda guy.
Was there anything
I'm
negative
a
about
huge
it anyway?
I'm a huge Zelda guy. I just didn't like Breath of the Wild.
Oh, did you pick up the new one then?
I did, and Aziza's playing it. My fiance, she's liking it so far.
Is she okay? Is there any I noticed the map appears to be the same map for the most part.
It's pretty similar. It's like so something happens. I don't want to spoil too much.
That's fine.
Something happens that changes the map, so it is like modified.
Okay,
but the landscape, kind of the landmarks are the same, but it's something happened.
So it's like when
changes the map.
Fortnite has an event going on.
That's a great way to put it.
Interesting.
And then there's like stuff in the sky, and then I guess there's stuff underground as well.
Oh, okay.
So they kind of, instead of changing the map, they kind of just added above and below to give you multiple levels.
That's okay
to explore. Yeah,
that's okay. I know I'm gonna be picking it up. I'm gonna watch your video because I'm gonna need something on the plane while I'm flying down to Texas.
Well, that'll be 20 minutes of your. Oh, you mean the game, not the video. I was gonna say,
not the
video. If you're just watching the video, it's only gonna be about 20 minutes of your.
So I'll watch it as we're boarding, and then by the time we got to put everything away. And
Now is that
back up.
you're watching it while you're BORED-ing because you're watching my video, so you're bored?
Dude, you're absolutely the worst. I hate you so much. I'm just
everybody
kidding.
does.
I'm just kidding.
But he says it with love.
Everything. That's true. It's always been that way. I've always come off as an asshole, and I might be an asshole, but I.
Oh, you definitely
it's out of love.
Yeah, that's how we first met. You were a complete asshole to me.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
We're not going down this road.
Your asshole moments are iconic.
Papa Post lore.
No Papa.
No, we've
Post
gone
lore,
over this.
but-
I think we've gone over this on the show.
Yeah, we
before.
have. Yeah,
Oh,
we
have
have.
we?
And so we don't need to do it again. So that's all that matters. So I actually was prepared with 2 games today.
Ooh.
I would like
fine.
to jump into a game kind of early on today. You guys cool with that? So Josh,
Sure.
grab the mic. Oh,
It's just
What
gone
happened to
now.
his arm?
It's just gone. It's lore. He doesn't have an arm.
Fucking arm, man.
pass it over.
Are we
here,
allowed to
I'll
show
grab
this
it.
on camera?
I gotta find.
It's in the middle.
There we go. All right. All right, we're playing Review Bytes.
Ooh.
Yay.
It's a game we haven't played in a little bit, so I wanted to
I
play it
love this
again
game.
here today. We've got 6 different games with a potential of 3 points per game to win today. All right. Is there anybody who would like to go first?
I want to go.
I will go first.
Well, Dom
Ray
beat you
said
to
it.
Reyes.
Ray said first. No, let him
Okay,
go,
fine.
let
Do you
him
know
go.
what? I agree. Reyes never goes first.
That's true.
And then we will go clockwise.
Because I already know I'm going to suck at this game, so I want to get it out of the way.
All right. So, game number 1, the review comes from username Fubecca150.
Is there like category or anything, or is it just
It's same as always. These games are only games that are available on Steam.
right? Well, I know with Henry
there's
we had
no-
a category.
There is no okay. I'm not going to give a category today.
I was gonna say you don't have to. I was just asking.
So I was going to introduce a 1 lifeline rule today. So you get 1 question outside of the name of the game. So it can be, what is the genre? What is, is this new? Is it old? Like what, so on and so forth. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So you got 3 guesses here. All right. First one comes from username Fubecca150. And the review is simply, I've enjoyed it so far. There is clearly something wrong with me. Okay. That's pretty vague.
Mm-hmm.
That's hella vague, right? So I'm going
Yes.
to move on. Username number 2 comes from Waffle Bandito. And their review is, I got this game for free with my graphics card, and I still feel ripped off.
All right.
Okay. This one is probably the hardest on the list. I'm just going to be honest.
Oh, that's so mean.
Good job. Good job volunteering.
So, all right. And before, okay, so this is how it's going to work. Before the last one, I'm going to give you the option. If you can get it on the last one, you can still get 2 points. But if you ask for a lifeline, then it's only worth 1 point. Okay? If I were you, I would ask for the lifeline.
I'm asking for the fucking lifeline.
Okay, what do you want to know?
What's the game?
Well,
You
thank
didn't
you
say
for
I couldn't
using.
ask that.
I did actually. I'm pretty sure it's
Yeah,
like
that was the
first
only
I
thing.
Trying to gaslight that. Like, did I?
Yeah.
Did I not?
So thank you for using your lifeline, Reyes. Your final. No. You can ask a serious one.
What does the game's title start with?
I'm
Like
not
the
telling
first
you
letter.
that. I'm not telling you that. No, nothing to do with the game's title.
Okay. Okay.
Dom's over here looking up Steam reviews right now.
Yeah, he's Googling.
So if he doesn't get it, you guys will have a chance to steal it for 1 point. And it'll
I'm
be
going
first one gets it.
to activate my lifeline, and I'm going to phone a friend. Josh.
Oh, okay.
Josh, we have 10 seconds. Okay, I need you to help.
That's not a rule. That's not a rule, but you know.
I'm trying to think of like what games would come with a graphics card that sucked.
Wait, we got
Far Cry 6? I don't know.
We got okay, 10, 3, 2, 1. All right,
that's all I got.
I said Far Cry 6. I'm going with it.
Okay, so if you get this wrong, I will not read you the final whatever.
Oh yeah, because we could steal.
Yep. So your guess is Far Cry 6, and that is incorrect.
Sorry, man.
No.
Sorry, man.
I tried.
That's all right. All right. Do any of you two have a guess, or would you like me to read the last one?
Please read the last one.
Okay. And it's first one gets the point. This review comes from username Emmett6500, and their review is, at least Fallout 76 isn't Bethesda's worst game anymore.
Redfall.
It is Redfall.
Oh,
I didn't know you were going that new.
New
that was
and
kind of
old.
surprising.
New and
Bethesda
old.
made Redfall.
Wait a minute. Redfall had horrible reviews like that.
Redfall's garbage.
Yeah, it's
oh man,
we're gonna talk about it later.
Oh,
okay.
I haven't heard anything from it. I was like, okay. I wanted to play it.
I'm surprised that somebody got a graphics card with Redfall already. You know,
I didn't know that's a thing.
Yeah,
that's just what their review is. It could have been.
That was just like
fair enough.
Wait, Bethesda made Redfall though?
They published.
They were publisher.
Oh,
yeah.
they published it. Oh,
Yeah.
oh no.
It's funny. I legit, like, before the game came out, I started downloading it, and then I was reading up on it, and it's actually, if I open my Xbox app right now, it'll say paused Redfall 1 out of 1 at 35%. It actually, I'm not joking. I'm gonna screenshot it right now.
I got an even worse. I bought 2 copies. One for myself and one for Aziza so we could play together. I installed it on both PCs, and then like the reviews came out and we just haven't played it at all. Like, I doubt we will.
No, that's the worst. I put it in the chat. You guys can see
it was that bad. Dang, that sucks.
Yeah. All right, Dominic, you are next, sir.
Oh, yay.
And if you're watching along in our live stream, please feel free to, wait a second and then guess. So, Dominic, this one comes from username Absolutely Halal. And the review is not up to Los Pollos Hermanos standards.
Oh. That's a Breaking Bad meme. I know that, but there's so many people use memes like that, so that's really vague.
Next one?
Yeah, next one, please.
This one comes from username Kaiser Fahim. Oh, and this one's a lot longer. Let me. You can hunt wildlife with shovels. You can throw them like spears. You can swing them like a bat. You can clear an entire outpost with only a shovel. You can get a perk that allows you to carry, I'm not kidding here, 9 shovels. My shovels thrown per minute is honestly insane. There is also something about a cult. Sorry, hold on. There's also something about a cult, and you need to save people. Look, the point is there is no better game that will allow you to shovel your way to the end as good as what I've had in this game.
It's a lie, but whatever.
I'm gonna guess Far Cry 5. It's not 5. Oh no.
You can't.
All right.
Wait, I'm dumb. No. I know which one it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I just realized. Oh, no.
Okay. And the last one will be first to the floor for Reyes and Josh. The last one comes from username T-Bum. It has Chicken Man on Funny Meth Show.
Oh, no.
I think Josh is giving you an opportunity.
I know it, but I'm giving Reyes an opportunity to get back for what I lost for him before.
I'm trying.
If only he knew. If only he knew.
I don't. Is it? He said 5, right?
What hint did I give you before, or what answer did I give you before?
Oh no.
Far Cry 6.
Yeah!
Oh, I can't believe I missed that.
I got to redeem.
Thank you, Josh.
That is the best phone a friend ever.
Yeah, it just came later.
It did. I was literally about to say, he said 5, and you all were like, no, you can't do it. And I was like, so it's either above 1 or down 1. I was literally thinking it. I was like, 4 or 6. What do I do?
Oh, man.
I could have got that on the first one.
You could have, but I thought it was just vague enough.
Oh, that's so sad.
It's
and the cult part threw me off because 5 had the weird cult people going around. I don't remember 6 having a cult.
Thank you, young blood, for helping me with that. Got me some points. It's the first time I've ever gotten points in this game right now. Okay.
All right, Josh.
Historical moment.
Yes.
First review comes from username Vagina.
Okay.
I don't look. It's their actual usernames, all right? They're not made up. And their review is game fun but grindy. Hard to follow at points unless playing with somebody who knows what they're doing.
I have a guess, but go on.
All right, it's all right. The next one is from username Reaper, and their review is: the game is basically robots, Smurfs, and humans being given immortality by a giant ping pong ball in order to fight the forces of evil geometry.
What?
Well, my guess went completely out of the fucking window. Is this my life, or is this my question? Can I ask?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can ask. Yes.
What year did this game come out?
If I had to guess, I'll verify for you.
Please do.
But I thought it was 2018.
Oh.
2017.
2017. Ping pong ball or pinball ball?
It was a giant ping pong ball.
Ping pong ball grants immortality to robots and Smurfs.
The game is
What?
basically robots, Smurfs, and humans being given immortality by a giant ping pong ball in order to fight the forces of evil geometry. There is one more review
Oh, yeah, gimme.
that probably won't help at all. But it's
Great.
from capital STU or Stew. Their review is: free to play, but not free to enjoy.
League of Legends.
And the answer is not League of Legends. That was a pretty good guess, actually.
Is it Steel Time?
It is not Steel Time. I don't even know what that is. And Reyes, you can take a shot in the dark if you'd like.
Why would I even try?
I said Steel Time, meaning like stealing. It's time to steal.
But yeah, but there's no other review, so I can't. I'm sorry. Yes, you can still guess if you'd like. Then I thought there was some game called Steel Time.
Free to play.
Free to play. Yep.
And it came out in 2018.
Reyes, you can also guess at any time too. 2017.
17.
I don't know.
10 seconds.
Destiny 2.
Fortnite.
Dom said Destiny 2.
Yeah.
It is Destiny 2.
Yeah.
What? Oh,
Good
right.
job, buddy.
I was really hoping that
Because
the
the
second
little
one would,
ghost orb.
Yeah, that's
the ping pong ball is the. Okay.
Yeah, it was super
Okay.
vague, but I'm like, if somebody played this enough, I think they'd get the reference. Josh, did you
I
ever play
hard
Destiny
grinded
2?
that game.
I played a tiny bit of 2, but I played the shit
Yeah, was
out
it
of
mostly
1.
the first one?
I
yeah.
played one. Yeah, the
In the beginning of 2, I hard grinded it for a little bit, and then I got bored.
Okay.
I hard grinded your mom.
Okay.
Why do we keep talking about my mama?
All
Go
right.
again.
We're
I
back
couldn't
to
help myself.
Reyes.
No, I mean yes.
This is also another one I don't think you're gonna get.
I hate you.
Is it?
Just
Can I
give
just
it
ask?
to me.
Can I just ask how many there are? Are there 2 each?
There's 2 each.
Okay.
Yep. All right.
Let's get the pain
This-
over with.
This
Let's
comes
go.
from username CNEC, and their review is: the real horror is realizing this game launched 14 years ago. Existential crisis achieved.
Ooh, boomer game.
Fuck you.
Next.
All right, next one comes from
Next one.
username .ver. I don't know. Their review was: they did game title right when I'm too scared to play it more than once a week.
I have a guess, but
You also have a lifeline.
okay. I will use a lifeline.
You can ask me any question about the game other than the title, or, like the main, and the main characters.
Who was the main publisher of the game?
I think it was EA, but let me verify.
Oh.
EA? Okay, that fucks me over. What?
It was published by Electronic Arts and AK-tronic
Arts.
Software and Services. It was published by EA.
It was published by EA, and this came out 14 years ago.
That's what the review said.
Fuck. And it's supposed to be a horror game. Because it's supposed to be scary.
You have one more review left.
Give it to me.
This one comes from username Pinner. And for the record, I debated not using this one. But the review is, you can stomp on babies. That's enough for me to buy.
What the fuck? What did you... Okay, stomping on babies.
You gotta remember, it's just the review.
Okay.
I think Dom knows. Dom seems pretty confident over there. You can also just pass as to not have a failed guess.
Pass. I don't...
All right. All right. It's open to the floor. Dom, Josh. Josh is a pass.
So only EA horror game I can think of is Dead Space, and that's an old game.
And that's correct. It is actually the Dead Space remake. They were referencing it being a remake
the original
of a 14-year-old game. Yes.
Got it.
Wow. Okay.
Got it. That's what threw me off. Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, stomping on babies kind of like really... I was like, I have no clue what you're talking about now.
I forgot that the babies weren't in the first one. The babies were in the second one. So that reviewer... Dumb.
Yeah. Well, and so I looked... Like, I had to look up the baby one to see what the hell they were even talking about, because I had no idea what they were talking about. And it was an actual thing in the game, so I'm like, okay, I've got to leave it.
Well, yeah, kind of. The babies were in the second game.
Right, and it was specifically
there were
the
little
remake.
things in the first game, but they weren't babies. But there were babies in the second game, and yeah, it was fun to stomp them because they sucked.
All right,
yeah, real fast.
All right,
played a lot of Dead Space.
The next one, these last two are, I think, are going to be kind of hard actually.
Oh, fun!
This one,
as opposed to the other ones that were so easy.
This game is inherently kind of hard actually. I kind of like, but you know, that's all right. All right, from username Electric Avenue.
Wait, who's going?
You are.
You.
Oh, me. Okay.
Electric Avenue says, "Women love me. Me fear fish."
So I gotta go to the next one.
All right, so the next one comes from username Laika, and their review is, "I am the fisherman. I catch everything in this foggy sea, and for some damn reason, the fish whisper eldritch chants to me." That one rhymed.
What game has... It's gotta be like a fishing game of some kind, or a game that has fishing within it.
This is... I'm doing my best not to say anything.
Oh, is it the Lifeline time?
Sure.
Phone a friend.
Here's a free lifeline. This is the most obscure game on the list.
Obscure, fun.
All right, so what's your lifeline?
Is there a main character?
Not really.
Oh, that kind of slims it down just like a tiny bit. Wait, no, it doesn't. All right, can we go to the next one?
So I will say this: the main character, quote unquote, who's the player, is known as the fisherman. So there you go. All right, and the last review is, This isn't going to help you at all. Comes from Max and Chachi. You're just a fisherman. Nothing is wrong. The fish are fine and normal. No terrors of the briny deep lurking underneath the waves here. Certainly, no strange and mysterious characters are asking you to gather lost artifacts for an uncertain task. Yep, just you, your fishing boat, and the things watching you at night.
I have no clue. I'm just gonna say fishing simulator.
Probably
So
that one.
valid. That's a good guess, but it's not the right guess.
I'd imagine.
The floor is open. Based on, it's not super obscure, and it's a fairly new release.
Oh no.
It's a new release.
Fairly.
Is it the raft?
It is not the. It is not the raft.
That would have been. That was.
That's a really good guess.
That's
Frank.
good.
That's a really good guess.
That's all I like knew that dealt with water.
There's. Reyes lost a guess.
Oh, wait, can I? No,
No.
for not
No.
points. Can I guess?
Well,
If Reyes,
after
if
Oh,
Reyes
after Reyes.
guesses,
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
Or if Reyes, you
I'm
can
just
say
gonna
whatever
take
you
it. Is it called fishing?
want. All right, Dom, go ahead.
Is it the forest?
No, it is a game called Dredge.
Never heard of
That
it.
has
I think I heard of it.
your boy Bike Man.
Oh yeah,
I saw him playing it, and it turned me onto that game, and I almost bought it.
we gotta
and
get
then-
that kid on the show.
I know, that'd be really cool.
He agreed to it when he had pneumonia or something. He
Oh.
said he had a really high fever, so I
Well,
think that's the only
let's-
reason he agreed
let's-
to it.
Let's get him pneumonia again.
Yeah, right.
I don't wish.
I don't
that
know
on
if it was
anybody, by the way.
pneumonia. He just said he was really sick and he had a really bad fever.
Free
that's the
COVID.
worst. Yeah, right. Yeah, that was. But it's like I said, it came out somewhat recently. It's a little bit obscure. But anyways, all right. Last game, Josh.
Great. No pressure.
Username is Bake a Cake. If I had $1 for each time someone, that is. I did not write this right.
Oh, nice job.
I forgot the S and screamed. So it says, if I had $1 for each time someone creamed at me. Anyways, if I had $1 for each time someone
Read it how you
screamed
wrote
at me,
Yeah.
if I had $1 for each time someone creamed at me in another language, I'd still have no money because I spent it on skins.
Any game in Johnny's library.
Oh, poor Profe. Oh, dude. It's funny. Going back, I get ads all the time on Steam now for all the adult games. Just because of the couple times like I played stupid games with him. Anyways, the next one is from Anami. Their review is, it's like Dota 2, but with less wizards and more Russians.
Yeah. Oh God, I get a lifeline now.
Yep.
It's like Dota 2, but with more. Is it a what is it? What are they called? What's the genre?
It's a first person shooter actually.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. It's a first person shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Screamed at me in another language, so it's probably free to play.
Ooh.
With Russians. He's laughing.
I love that. Just that take.
Youngblood looks excited. He's like, he wants it.
The take of
It's free to play, so you probably get, yeah. That's usually.
No, I agree with you. It's funny. I've never thought of that like in that way ever once. That's funny. Anyways.
Russians. Give me another one. Give me the last review.
The last one comes from username Lady Money, and their review is simply this: cases, skins, gambling, offensive language.
Oh no.
Is it? That's not Russians. I don't know. I got nothing.
All right.
Dom literally has his mouth open,
I know.
waiting to just.
So
What is it, Dom?
So if Dom gets it wrong, he's -2.
Russians, CS:GO.
It's CS:GO.
Oh. Oh.
Good job.
Skins, packs, gambling.
Fuck.
And that last hint was literally CSGO.
Oh, that's funny.
That's why I threw it in there. So
Dom's face the entire time was like,
dude, he was chomping at the bit. Yeah,
I
that
realized
and
what it
that's-
was after the second one. I was like, shit.
Yeah. Seeing Counter-Strike is like the one Valve game I didn't like put
Well,
hours
I
and
know.
hours and hours into. So I'm like kicking myself because I should have known it, but I don't play
Right.
Counter-Strike. So
no, it's what once I saw how this was all gonna play out, like that I figured was gonna be for Reyes at the end. Not that Reyes has ever played CS:GO, but anyways, moving forward, we did not formally announce on the show yet, but we do have a new game of the month. That game is Murderous Muses.
I'll be back.
Okay.
oh,
And so if you don't know what Murderous Muses is, I'm actually just going to go ahead. So it's basically like an FMV, like it comes from the studio Devecchi Studios, and they're really known for these like FMV murder mystery kind of, they're like almost like point and click story, like whodunit type games.
Who did it?
And it was brought to me by Josh. Josh is actually the one who recommended the game for this month, and it's a good one because it also coincides with our guest next Saturday, which I announced on Twitter. We will be having the director, producer, writer, Tim Cowles, along with a couple of the actors on the show. I know we have Anna Fraser and David John Bors. And I'm really looking forward to that. You can see it on our Twitter, just who we got coming on. That's going to be on Saturday, the 20th, and we're going to be recording pretty early, at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. So it's going to be 11 Eastern, and while everyone's still sleeping on the West Coast. So really looking forward to that. We're going to be doing actually 2 giveaways for this game. We're going to have one for the game of the month, and also we're going to give away one on the episode as well. So
Perfect.
So really look.
The reason I stepped out for a second there is I wanted to grab my physical copy of my favorite game of theirs, the Shape-Shifting Detective that I bought from Limited Run, because I fucking love this game. This was the first game of theirs I played, and I loved it so much. They made a follow-up called I think it was Nights with Poe and Monroe. I just call it Poe and Monroe. It's like a spin-off of Shape-Shifting Detective. That game is really good too. I have not played Murderous Muses yet because I want to play it kind of closer as we get to the episode.
Yeah.
So it can be really fresh in my mind and we can talk about it.
Right.
But I'm so stoked.
I just wanted to note, so Murderous Muses is a little bit different than some of the other games we've had. Not in terms of how like the gameplay is, but how the length of the game. So Murderous Muses is more of a, like you're going to want to play it all in one setting. So, 2 to 3 hours at a time. And so there's multiple endings to this thing, right? And every time you got a different person who's the killer and different ways to figure it out. There's a crap ton of unlockables in it. And it gives you a score actually at the end of the game, which is not something they did in their previous games. So it's a little bit different that way. So your goal is to essentially get the highest score you could possibly get. So I would love it if anybody's out there listening or watching ever, please let us know what your high score is. My first high score was like 800 something, I think, only, which I failed at getting the right killer. The first time, but I'm really looking forward to it. I'm gonna actually play it. I'm gonna play it a couple times. Well, so I'll say this about it. There's a little bit of a learning curve when you first start playing. If you have ADD like me, ADHD like me, I don't want to be corrected there. If you're not paying attention, you're not going to know what the fuck you're doing. So make sure you're paying attention and read the notes, and then you'll figure it out. But yeah, it's actually it's really fun. You get really engrossed in like trying to figure out, well, who the fuck did it? Who's the killer? What the fuck? Right? And I think that's what's really fun about it. And I played Shape-Shifting Detective on Josh's recommendation, and I adored that game.
So is it like one of those like interactive movie games?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, okay. I've seen a couple before like that, and then they're always usually pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. No,
so I might be interested to look into these.
And the most exciting part about this is I think this is even a game like my mom would get into.
What?
Like, yeah, like I think it's a game for any. Well, my mom loves murder. You know, she's a, you know, she likes to watch Lifetime and.
Well, your mom
and like
murder. I'm like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, right. It's like Dom said. They're more like interactive movies. So like you don't even have to be a gamer to enjoy
Absolutely
it.
not.
It's for the story.
Yeah, you can just like if you have a wireless mouse, you could just sit back and just kind of just chill and click around and basically watch the story unfold in front of you.
Well, and I believe it's on console as well, right?
Yep, it's on PC, it's on console. They actually Murderous Muses just released on Switch this week, I think.
Perfect.
Oh,
so it's even on Switch.
So you can be like, oh no, the killer's getting me.
Exactly like that. Don't put your mouse on anything. Just wave it around in the air.
And make sure we can see your other hand. We don't know if you're masochist or anything, but you know, you lean back, you looked, you know, really comfortable and like you've done that before. It was a smooth transition for you. So I just want to let you know.
Come on, everyone's got that natural pose as they're gaming. Let's not even like try to get it twisted. But hey, if you want to get this, get going on this and enter into this. There's a couple different ways to get there. It's going to be done through our Gleam.io website, same as always. You can access that by going to our link tree, which is link.tr/. I'm sorry, link.
tr.ee.
Yes, thank you. linktr.ee/bucketbytes, or go to bucketbytes.gg. There's a tab there for Game of the Month, which will also give you a link to the entry there as well. And speaking of the Bucket Bytes website, that's been totally revamped in the last week. It's not 100% yet, but we have an entire page dedicated to all of our guests where I plan on writing a nice little thing about them as well as all of their socials so you can see who we've had on in the past. I think that's a really cool little feature as well. And lastly about that, we have our sponsors on there as well. And if you didn't know, Dark Fusion Systems, we partner with them, and you can get $50 off your build. If you guys didn't know that, it's actually a pretty great deal. So you can just mention Bucket Bytes when you reach out to them, darkfusionsystems.com. So anything else you guys want to touch on there?
Not really. I mean, I when you talk about murdering muses,
Murderous. So okay,
murderous.
Let me talk about the game just a little bit more because it's the first time we've actually like brought it up. So basically, you are brought in to a like a museum type place. It's a hall where there's a bunch of photos, and basically you can talk to the paintings so you place them on different parts of the walls, and you talk to the people that are in the painting to help uncover different parts of the story. And you're not talking to them as you're talking to them as the person, as somebody else. So it's a really cool
shape-shifting kind of does that.
Yes, it does. And going back, and we'll talk about shape-shifting, I'm sure, next weck. But I can't even talk. Oh my God. Shape-shifting Detective is a game where similar thing but you can actually like change the form of yourself to look like somebody else.
Yeah, it's literally you play as a shape-shifting detective. So as you meet other like characters, you can then disguise yourself as those other characters to talk to the other characters, so they'll like trust you and give you information they wouldn't have.
Very intriguing.
Like, it's actually really cool.
It's awesome, and this is why I want to talk to these guys. Like, how do you plan that out? Like, how did you even come up with that idea? Like, it's so amazing, and I like I said, I can't wait to play Murderous Muses because
that must have taken so long to like actually set up, though.
Yeah, like how do you storyboard this, and how do you? And it's random. I think shapeshifting is random too, like who the killer is when the game starts. So
and
you have to account for everybody can be the killer when the game starts, and it's insane.
Yeah, and that's
It's exciting.
So, no, it's awesome. I really hope you guys try it out, especially both of you, because I know neither of you have played it yet. Dom and Reyes.
I have not.
Well, and I haven't played Murderous.
Like it makes me
I
excited
understand
to
why.
try.
Well, good.
I might watch like a gameplay video of it because I don't got money.
And that's the nice thing about those games is they're only like $20, and you can
really?
actually
Well, and also
like shapeshifting and all them is even cheaper.
I will gladly buy you a copy just so you can play it. Because like
Moneybags over here is willing to buy.
I just want to support
Mm-hmm.
these developers because they're
Yeah, they're
awesome
great.
and they're
They are
coming on
great.
our show. They've been really nice in all the conversations. So
yes.
Just to give a background of how we booked them real quick. I don't think they'll mind. I don't think they'll mind me saying this. But I requested a key for Murderous Muses, and they reached out. They're like, "Do you really want a key for this?" Because I have like 300,000 subscribers on YouTube, and they're like, and I'm like, "Yeah, I do." And they're like, "Oh, because people will lie to us all the time and say they're like a big YouTube channel just to get free keys." And I'm like, no, this is me. I fucking love Shapeshifting Detective. And I was like, hey, want to come on my podcast and talk about it?
Right? Yeah. That's
awesome. They're like, yeah, absolutely. That sounds great. So they've been really cool.
Absolutely.
That's cool.
No, they have been.
That's
They have
awesome.
been. And I've been talking to Linda behind the scenes. Is Linda, and I guess this is a question maybe for the show, but is Linda and Tim, are they married or are they?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe they're married and they run the studio together.
So Linda doesn't like us. She didn't want to come on, but she's like, here, you can have my husband instead.
Yeah, I know.
So, anyways.
And so Dom, say thank you to Sugar Gaming. I mean, to Jessica Gaming.
I like that.
Oh, that's
no.
awesome.
Any opportunity I have to give them money. I bought Shapeshifting Detective like 3 times. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Twice for the same console.
That's the, I think, like, honestly, it's the best part about what we're kind of doing and what I'm trying to do is support, like, number one, bring exposure to smaller devs, right? But number two, like, you're able to help these people that, like, man, all they need is just, a couple more people to play their games. Like I was one of them. I had no idea about these guys until Josh is like, hey, like, did you play this game? I'm like, no. Wasn't even on my radar until I played it. Now I'm like, well, fuck, now I have to have all their games.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought all their games. And we're going to be giving out actually a couple of codes next week too. We're going to have what's it called? The Dr. Decker game.
Okay.
I got a code for that one we're going to give away, and one other one too, I think. So we got a few of them that we're going to give away.
Very nice. That'll be fun. Be there next week.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. So, going from, supporting small not streamers, companies, startups, devs, Josh is already cheating on his Steam Deck. Not that that's a small dev thing, but Josh, what's up?
So we talked about this. We talked about this last time that Asus is making a competitor to the Steam Deck, the Republic of Gaming Ally or whatever, ROG Ally. And you bet your ass your boy pre-ordered it as soon as they went live yesterday. So I got one on the way. I think it comes out the 12th of next month, so I'll be able to talk about it more then. But like previews are out and stuff. It's more powerful than the Steam Deck, but people are giving it shit because it runs Windows. Like it doesn't run, and we talked about this last time. It doesn't run like a customized operating system. And I guess Asus tried to make like their own front end to kind of launch games to make it easier for like a handheld experience, but it's still at heart it's Windows, right? So they're like, it's kind of counterintuitive when you have this portable device, but you still kind of need a mouse and keyboard just in case, like for launchers and stuff like that. So I guess it's a little inconvenient that way, and I guess the battery life isn't great. Like they're like you're getting like 4 hours. So
what can you get in the Steam Deck?
Steam Deck is like 7 or 8.
Oh, well, almost double. Okay.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, but it's running it was running bare Linux, right? Like it's just with or am I misremembering?
I mean, what do you mean by bare Linux?
I mean, it's just
it runs Linux, yeah, but it's I mean, it's running
with nothing
compatibility layers on top of it to run Windows DLLs, and I mean, it's doing a lot of crazy powerful stuff and still not using a ton of power.
Have you?
Because I think. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, have you heard of Steam or Valve like contemplating not even like having a second Steam Deck, like period? So they're not even gonna bother trying to compete with all the other ones that are gonna be coming out.
I doubt. I think they'd continue to.
I thought either someone told me or I read it somewhere, and maybe I'll have to look it up for next time.
I think somebody asked, like one of the engineers, and they said it wasn't a priority right now, but who knows what that means.
I forgot to do
but
something.
I'd be surprised if they didn't continue to, in the future still do it, since they've had so much success with this one.
Exactly.
I mean, from the reviews I had looked up before, I mean, it's a very successful product, and so you don't just, not move forward eventually with a very successful product. Eventually you'll work on the V2, the version 2.0 or V3 of it, if you're still garnering that much success. But they might be waiting for more technology to come out that they can incorporate with it, to make a bigger impact, though.
And there's so many. I mean, even with the current Steam Deck, like there's so many things they could have done to make that better, like an OLED screen or like smaller bezels and like things like that, where like there's definitely room for a second revision of the Steam Deck that I could see them doing. So I don't know why they wouldn't. Like Reyes said, I mean, the success of the first Steam Deck was, I think, even beyond what they were expecting. So I don't see why they wouldn't explore it.
I mean, at least they're not pulling like a Nintendo Switch. What they did, we're coming out with a brand new Switch, and they basically just switched out the screens.
That's a nice screen, though. That's a nice screen.
Oh,
it's a nice. It's very nice.
It is. See, and that's a whole thing of planned obsolescence too, though. So like, it's, I don't know, like companies do this shit on purpose all the time. And it's not just because the tech's not available, but it's because they know that they can go ahead and make another one that's going to make them more money. Someone's going to buy another one because it's better. Like, that's just how we are as people, as humans. But Josh, for your too early to tell opinion on it, which one do you think you'll like more?
Steam Deck, probably.
You think so? Just because of the OS?
So probably because of the OS, but also the nice thing about the Steam Deck is how little I have to, and I guess that goes to the OS, is how little I have to worry about anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like you can install Windows on a Steam Deck, and I've done it. Like actually I have an SD card right here where if I put it into my Steam Deck, I can launch Windows right from the SD card, and I never do it because like the Steam Deck is just so convenient where it's just like I launch into my game, there I go. It'll automatically sync all my saves and everything so I can play on my PC and there's no difference.
Right.
So like that's really nice. And I mean you could do that with Windows on the ROG as well, but
the user experience is streamlined on the Steam Deck.
Exactly, it's catered to it, right? Yeah. So like they did a lot of work in making sure that experience was great. But then again, I mean mostly what I plan on using the ROG for anyway is emulation. Because that extra power is going to be nice for that. So we'll see.
That's true. One thing going back real quick, because I forgot to do it, and I'm sure people were like, dude, what the hell? You're talking about Murderous Muses and you didn't give out any codes? Secret code. You get 50 entries to the giveaway, which again is either a copy of the game, a copy of next month's game, or a t-shirt. So the first code is Gray. Grey. Gray. So you can enter that in the gleam.io link and get 50 entries.
And I want to bring up something again, going back to Murdering Muses, because we're talking about a game which revolves around murder, which you're trying to solve, right? And so, and that kind of segues into something else I had kind of came across, and it's a crazy murder story. So this children's author.
Well, I can you consider if you're talking about who I think you're talking about, can you consider her an author? She wrote one book, right?
Yes, she wrote one book for children, for a children's book on grief, really.
Yes.
And because her husband had died earlier that year, so she wrote a book about how to deal with grief for children.
For children, sure.
To help children because she had 2 kids herself. And now she's charged with her husband's murder.
Ooh, next husband?
Shit.
Obviously not the one that she wrote the
one,
book about.
The one that she wrote the book about.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was like, no way. And so she was arrested on Monday in Utah, and Utah's been brought up again a little bit.
Fucking Utah.
So
what a state!
They worrying about the wrong things.
And so in poisoning her husband with the lethal dose of fentanyl at their home, and
it was 5 times the amount too.
Yeah,
well, like what's
5 times the 5 times the lethal dose.
Christ.
Like she made sure this fucker died.
What I was gonna say,
and so basically, she had called the authorities in the middle of the night, and said that her husband was cold to the touch, and that she doesn't know what happened. All she knows is that she mixed him a vodka drink in honor of him selling his home, and then went to help her children go to sleep. And then when she came back, she found her husband unresponsive, so she called 911, and they said he was dead. Right? Well, autopsy happens. They find 5 times the lethal dosage of fentanyl in his system, and she's eventually charged with murder. But before the autopsy actually happened, I think it was a little bit after that. But in the time space between her being charged, she wrote a children's book on basically the tragedy and to help, and how her children had grief over it. And so she created a book to help them, and she published it to help other children deal with grief and loss. And she was actually brought on a TV show for it too. And she was brought on a TV show promoting it and everything, and everybody was. And
well, I mean, that's what you do. When
lo and behold, she's charged with her. Like, yeah, thanks. You're the one who actually caused children the grief. Thank you.
I want
ruined her own family.
I want to sprinkle in a couple more details because this is the part that kills me. Part of the reason why
not as much as her husband.
Well, yeah, fucking. You couldn't hear it. You couldn't hear it, Josh, but I played it for you. So I did play it for you.
Thank you.
But so part of the issue is that she was in a legal dispute over insurance money, which caused more of a investigation into what happened.
Oh.
And they scrubbed her data on her phone that she had deleted a long time ago, basically with her buying fentanyl over time.
Oh.
And apparently...
So she would have gotten away with it.
Can find it.
But also she would have gotten away with it if she wasn't fighting for the insurance money, is what you're saying.
Basically.
Oh. Yep. So she writes a book about it, makes money off of the murder, but needs to make a little bit more money.
Bro, that's what's crazy about it. I was like, you already made a book. We're on TV, which obviously enhanced the book sales.
Bro. Like you think the last thing you want to do is kill someone.
Enhance your sponsorship. So, but you're still gonna fight for the insurance money when you know
wasn't even a lot.
Be like, okay, we're gonna investigate this, and I'm like, I'm not saying it's wrong, but come on now,
Well, it's just like how greedy can you get on top of everything else?
Like quit while you're ahead. I'm like, it's a bad thing to say, but still, it's like, geez,
wow.
then I feel so bad for her kids.
Oh, fuck
You know,
yeah.
that was like,
It's awful.
this is horrible thing happened to their father, but good things are happening after that. They're getting all this support, and
Mhm.
then all of a sudden find out your mother was the one who did that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's traumatizing them all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah, dude.
And they're,
you
they're
gotta
probably in
feel
like
so bad.
foster care and stuff, right? Probably
it's
now.
gut wrenching.
Now
something, or
probably
family.
yeah.
Yeah, probably family.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the guy who died, he had text messages to his friend saying like, "I think my wife is trying to poison me."
What?
Wow.
And that's yep.
Oh, that's so
That
sad.
was yeah.
That is like you always hear about that too. Like
Mhm.
whenever you like watch like these murder mystery shows and stuff, where it's just like, yeah, and their friends were like, yeah, I think they told their friends, I think my girlfriend's trying to kill me, and then they're dead the next week. And it's like, I wonder what happened.
God.
But like.
Yeah.
To me, I'm always like, if you're telling your friends, like, hey, I think my wife is trying to poison me, why the fuck are you going home? Like, just leave.
Yeah, just
Especially if
that's
just
the
like,
crazy
here,
part.
let me mix you some vodka. No.
Drink
Yeah,
just for you.
I don't feel safe in my home. Where are you going? Home. Wait a minute. What? It
Yeah,
doesn't make
exactly.
It doesn't make sense. Like what? It doesn't compute.
Well,
And then to think these people thinking I can just delete it and they'll never find it. And I'm like, no, it's always there. They'll find it. That's why it's called computer forensics. It's what they do.
Yeah. It's awful.
Why do you think Hillary Clinton literally took the hard drives and smashed them with a hammer? You didn't just delete.
Magnets, like Breaking Bad. You just get a big old magnet.
Big old magnet. That's right.
That's the right way. That's the right
Unless
way.
it's a solid state drive, then you're kind of fucked.
Yeah.
Well, then you take a hammer.
Yeah, then you take it.
Yeah, then a hammer.
Or you just write to it a bunch of times.
Dom told us you just pour water on it.
Or water.
Yes. Water will solve everything.
Although, look it up. That did not work for Jodi Arias.
Oh.
Look it
That's
up,
a name.
folks.
That's a name I have not heard in a long time. Wow.
She took pictures of the murder that she committed
Ew.
and then put the camera through a washing machine.
Wow.
She's just trying to wash the evidence.
I actually did not know
And they
that.
just took the SD card. They took the SD card out of it, plugged it in, and it was fine.
Is this a real story?
Yes.
I did not know that. Holy
You've gotta
shit.
be.
Yep.
Dude, if my mom
that's a
hears
true
this,
story.
she's gonna shame me. She'd be like, "How'd you not know that?"
Yeah. Come on.
Dude, she would yell at
Wow.
me so hard.
Yeah, that is a
Oh
true
my
story.
God.
The investigators, I can only imagine that the investigators like, did she really try and wash this? Like, open up the back, it's completely dry. Just look at it.
Yep.
Oh my God.
To be fair, this was like
But I watched it.
early days. Like this was like people didn't quite understand technology as well as they do now.
Oh,
but still.
fun times.
Oh man.
So, oh man, Dom, give you some time in the limelight here. You've been going to the gym, huh?
I wanted to. Sadly, a lot of
What do you mean?
a lot of things happened that I wasn't expecting. So last Monday, I mean, I went to the gym and the security knows me there. So before I even get to the building, the lady's like, "Hey man, everything is closed. And it's going to be closed until the summer semester starts. And if you're not a summer student, you won't be able to get into the gym either." It's like, shit, okay, thank you for telling me. So I went back home and I did a workout at home. And I was like, all right, I'm just gonna
Just try and stop me. I'm trying to get swole.
try
And
to get them
just see what happens.
gains.
No, Chief, I'm in the fucking zone.
And just see what happens.
I went home, I did a home workout, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do home workouts I'm just gonna convince myself to keep doing them. Then the next day I got severely sick. So like on Tuesday I felt awful for some reason. And I didn't do a workout when I woke up this morning because I was super lightheaded and everything. And then the next day I had a fever. and now it's today. I had a fever for the past before now. I had the fever, and today I felt better, like 100% better.
So you worked out?
I didn't work out this morning yet because I wasn't sure how it would feel because I still felt a little weird this morning.
So what
But I
you're
know
telling
tomorrow
me, your
I'm gonna get
body
back
was
on it.
so unused to working out. Your first workout put your body into shock.
No.
So it took you a week to recover. Well, that means you need to work out consistently even more. Okay.
I just need BCAAs.
You know,
that's all you need.
you know.
I think I had like a stomach bug or something. I don't know what it
Suffering
was.
equals gains. Okay, if you have a fever, you're in the gym. Okay, if you have a broken bone, you
Sweat
run
it
2
off.
miles. Okay.
No, there's still one time you never go to the gym. It's when you got diarrhea and you're bubbling. You don't go to the gym.
No, you make everybody deal with it.
That's justifiable.
I was like,
that's a power move.
I will say, I have been to the gym and diarrhea's hit me. I've gone to the bathroom. 30 minutes later, come out. I'm like, I feel weak, and I tried to work out. After that, and about 20 minutes later, been like, nah, I can't do it. I got to cut it early.
No,
yeah. No, if I'm doing squats and I don't shit, then I go home.
Luckily,
it was a failure.
I'll say that it was
exactly.
Oh,
okay.
Sadly, my whole gym.
But it's bad. But it's bad when you're on the bench and you're bringing it down and you're tightening up your butt cheeks and you're like, yeah.
Got a little Hershey kiss down there.
Or something else is gonna come out, but I gotta. Nope, I can't do it. And then you're like trying to rush real fast to the gym and be like all nonchalant about it. Like, hey, how you doing? Yeah. Okay. Yep. Get swole. Yep. Don't worry about me. I'm not walking fast. Oh fuck.
So sadly, my whole gym thing I wanted to do got canceled.
So just write off week 1. Start over again next week. Week 1.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do.
Okay.
Next
week. That's what I want to try
comes.
to do. Oh, I never have it next week. Sundays were in all.
Just saying, next week never comes. Just like tomorrow never comes.
I'm saying, man, $10 a month. Experience Fitness or other gyms.
Hey, they don't pay us.
I
Don't
want
talk their
to
names.
eventually get my get a job. Then I can start doing that stuff too.
Talk to Sugar Gaming.
Ooh.
Okay, he'll help you.
Yeah, I'll give you $10 a month for working out. Why not? Fuck it.
Sugar Daddy Josh.
But you have to call him Sugar. You have to call him Sugar G.
Sugar G.
Okay, Sugar G.
Hang on, everyone. I got to call my YouTube friend.
No.
My YouTube
Sugar
daddy.
YouTube daddy. Okay.
I don't know how I feel about this. It's not necessarily bad,
or inaccurate. But
oh, that's great. Do you know what you could do? You could Reyes, you got something in here with like talking about sperm donations. Like you could sell your sperm, right? Like,
man,
what's a good healthy young kid get? You know what I mean? Like,
look at that hair. I'd pick that for my
people
kid.
will die for this hair.
So I'm saying.
So charge a premium.
Are you Dutch? I mean, you could do it with this Dutch guy did. You know, I mean, he's.
Oh, I know who you're talking. I know he's. Gonna say.
You know, so he donated so much fucking sperm. He's suspected of fathering over 550 children globally. So they're actually trying to hit him with a fine of like $110,000 to stop donating sperm.
I mean, that's actually really funny.
It's like the most ridiculous thing ever.
But like, whose fault is that though? Like,
he was like
his fault.
He was donating under different names and shit.
Oh, yeah, was he?
It was his fault.
Okay.
There's like a limit, and so he kept on changing his name to do it.
What? Like, how do you? Oh my god! What are these clinics paying in cash? Like, he's got to go cash the check, right? Like, or are they? They got to be paying in cash.
Maybe they just didn't care.
It was a Dutch guy, so I don't know how they do it over there.
I mean, fuck, maybe he was just donating it. He's like, I gotta squirt one out. I'm just gonna go donate for free.
I mean, yeah. If why do it for free when you could get paid?
He's trying to create his own small town. I mean, honestly,
make his own little army.
Well, and I think that's what they're worried about now is like two kids might meet up one day and not realize they're siblings.
Oh shit!
No.
You know, all of a sudden it's like, hey, Dad, hey, Ma, yeah, I went on Ancestry.com. Oh, yeah, what'd you find out? It says you're both related, like brothers and sisters.
no.
Like, wait a minute, what? Like, is this going to affect me, like, negatively?
Oh
You can only imagine the fallout.
Awful. Oh no.
Oh, man, I just thought it was a ridiculous thing. I'm like, he actually got fined. He was like, you donated too much, man.
And like, there was nothing like significant about the guy either. He's just like a normal looking dude.
Oh yeah, you know,
That's
he just
okay.
Wants to get paid.
Yeah, I know it's okay. It's just like random dudes like,
You want to
"I'm
know
gonna
what
donate my
wasn't
sperm."
normal about him? His sperm. That's what
Yeah.
550 of his kids say.
Well, and apparently they worked very well.
Yeah.
So
You know what
You see
wasn't
post?
normal about him? His stamina.
Yeah.
Jesus.
You see post, and you were upset, you know, that you had two. Okay,
I was not
He had
upset that I had two.
550.
Hold on. Let me set the record straight.
Yeah,
here.
let me go up to Post's daughter and be like, your dad's upset that you were born. Jesus.
you didn't want to have more than two. I was like, okay, tell Stephanie this guy had 550. What's your excuse?
Hey, no, I'm not even gonna bring up babies to her no more because she's finally like on board of not having more. So like, I'm good. I'm not even mentioning the word baby. You know,
Unless he's referring to me.
that's right.
Yep, Sugar G. That's your new name from now on. I'm not going to refer to you by anything else.
I'll take it, man. I'll take it.
I still
That's
like
what the
YouTube
S and
Daddy
SG stands for.
better. Sugar gaming.
Sugar gaming.
Sugar G. That's not a bad name to have. That's actually a pretty badass name.
I
sure
kind of
it's
love
taken.
it.
I'm sure it's
kinda love
taken. It's usually how that goes. So, Reyes, you put a lot. So we track our stuff on Trello, and Reyes, you put a lot of interesting things in here. What is this smuggling fruit roll-ups?
Oh yes. So yes, it is
Like
a
in your
thing.
butt?
Nope. I don't think they taste that good afterward. I'm just.
I mean, they're in plastic.
I mean-
oh, Mama Post is in
Ew.
chat. Oh no.
But oh no,
She heard the word baby and she's like, I gotta pull the stream up.
Bond.
She's like, hey.
5 more, right? I heard there could be 500. So
I mean, come on, this guy had 550. You can
Okay,
do
guys,
at least
let's-
like 7 more.
Let's move it on.
yeah, Post, move on. Come on, guys. Wrap it up.
Let's roll up here.
We gotta change topics.
Oh, fruit roll up. I get it.
Okay, so for fruit roll-ups, yeah. So I guess the new hot thing in Israel is that Americans are trying to smuggle in the newest and best contraband ever, fruit roll-ups. They in Israel they said they intercepted 661 pounds of fruit
Oh.
roll-ups in 1 week of travelers trying to sneak it in. And
Why
so-
are those such a hot commodity?
So
Yeah.
I guess a TikTok trend came out, like wrapping fruit roll-ups around like an ice cream cone, and so since they've become so popular in Israel, and it's not really that big there, like they're charging like a lot of big price, like for one fruit roll-up, like $6 for one. And so people are trying to just bring it in and smuggle fruit roll-ups into the country
What the fuck?
just to gain money off of fruit roll-ups. Like, this is crazy stuff that's happening now. I'm like, people are trying to make money off of anything, and I'm like, you're trying
You
to
act
bring
like
stuff.
this is something new.
It's not. It's not.
Well, yeah,
but
but
it's like
when you
fruit
come up with
roll-ups?
the ridiculously of fruit roll-ups.
You're trying to. I'm thinking. Oh, you're smuggling. Oh, you're having contraband. What is it? Is it like cocaine? Is it like crazy amounts of marijuana or what is it? Right? Fruit roll-ups, bro. Yeah.
Why are you in jail? Smuggling fruit roll-ups.
Fruit roll-ups. I'm like,
Smoke too many fruit roll-ups.
I'm like, nobody would even believe you in jail. Okay.
I'm just
Well-
imagining like a crack house kind of thing, where like below ground you got like women wearing no clothes, like re-rolling fruit roll-ups.
Yeah, re-rolling them up, yeah, dude, and cutting them out, get that shrinkage, you know, cutting it.
Just cutting up fruit roll-ups, like that's an ounce of fruit roll-ups, bro. You ain't gonna find anything like that.
People are just wrapping it around their legs, and they gotta come back and re-roll it.
Going through the airport, getting patted down. Yeah, no, it's just
like, yep. We found it on him. You know, we found 3 bags. You know, 3 bags up his anus of fruit roll-ups. Trying to smuggle it through airport security. Like, wait a minute, what?
Oh no!
Like the boss of the whole operation's wearing like a fruit roll-up chain.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, just with fruit roll-up shirts, suit, you know,
just made out of like they stitch them together.
Ridiculousness. Just the ridiculousness. Like,
I mean, hey, Mama Post knows all about it. She's like, there's a shortage even. Is there
there's a shortage of fruit roll-ups?
That's insane. That's insanity, dude. Can you, man?
I'm like, what do you need to make fruit roll-ups with? Sugar.
I mean,
and some gelatin. I think that's
it, man. You got to get that recipe down, though. You can't be selling some, lackluster product out on these streets. You're gonna have a Heisenberg of fucking fruit roll-ups out there pretty soon.
Now, fruit roll-ups are like the like sheet, right? Like fruit by the foot is the long one that rolls
correct.
out. Okay,
yes,
to make sure. Yeah, fruit roll-ups are the gross one. Like fruit by the foot's good. Fruit roll-ups are disgusting.
It's gonna eventually, all of a sudden, you're gonna see, different fruit roll-up strains. Like like the weed was like, I got some good purple right here. I got some good I was like, you ain't never seen this fruit roll-up before, man.
This is pure red.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I got some of that baby blue,
strawberry flavored.
It's like this one's a little light. I think you cut it with some vanilla.
Yeah. I was like, I got some grape right here.
Oh no.
Got spring of fruit roll-ups.
I got a rainbow one. Okay, you don't even know what the effect's gonna be.
Jesus. Well, the effects it's gonna make someone happy. Let's not blow it out. It's not like it's drugs. Come on now, guys. Come on.
How do you know?
On.
Oh, literal post.
That's a problem of mine. Sorry. But anyways, Riz, I'm telling you, man.
That's a great story.
That was good. What else you got? What can't we hide in our dreams, Riz? Keep them coming. What else you got here? Why can't we hide in our own dreams?
So we talked about it a little bit before, right? AI, right? So so you can't, like, in your dreams, it's like, hey, AI, electronics nowadays, everybody's heard it. If you put it on the internet, it's there forever, right? Somebody can find it on your phone. If you send something, you type something, somebody can find it. With the electronic age now, it's the age of the internet, technology, digital transformation. You can get everything, but some things you can't. That'll always be true to you. Are personal things like, hey, I dreamt. Nobody's going to know about it unless you tell them, right? Nobody's going to know what you dreamed about or anything like that. Well, that's fucking gone now too. So researchers just translated people's thoughts into words without a surgical implant for the first time ever. It uses an AI decoder, non-invasive, to match your MRI brain scan activity to corresponding speech patterns. Even the people who created it stated they're kind of shocked it works as well as it fucking does. So the decoder could accurately summarize stories and sentiments that participants listened to or imagined in short videos they watched. So the door is now open for them, and they're starting experience in translating people's dreams.
Well, this sounds like some shit out of Cyberpunk.
So even what you dream now, they're gonna be able to fucking be able to be like, oh shit, you dream some weird shit, bro.
I mean,
so now whenever my fiance gets mad at me for something I did in her dream, she could be like, look. Look what you did.
Dude, and the next step is taking that text string, putting it into a visual chat GPT AI type thing. Then there's video proof that you did it.
Well, I was going to say the next thing is like if they can interpret text, the next thing they're going to be able to do is interpret image, right?
Oh yeah, even
from your brainwave.
Oh, that's so scary.
I mean, people theorize that this could happen ever since they came out with biomedical, biomedical orthopedics for, double amputees, or personal grouper amputees, utilizing their brain waves to actually move their hand and do things again. So they theorized, okay, if you can do that, maybe you can utilize your brain waves to actually see what people are thinking or actually translate that, into text. Now they're actually able to do it. And so again, the next step then would be translating it from text to visualize it, from there. And so it's crazy because now everything else before was out there, and there was now the digital age more and more out there. With people, even your homes, they can lock you out of your homes. They're talking about your cars being able to drive away from you if you don't pay a note. Everybody can listen into
think about
you.
It.
You can't hide anything anymore, not even in your brain, in your dreams.
Well, think about it. That technology could then turn into you sit down in your car and you just say, "I want my car to turn on," and it'll fucking turn on. Like that's. It could potentially go into something like that. You ain't even got to fucking push a button. You don't got to turn a key.
Nano machines, son. It's going to be Metal Gear.
Yep. Nano machines.
But then what happens if it turns out like that movie Jexy? Plug me in, unplug me. Plug me in, unplug me.
What?
You've never seen... Oh, so Jexy is a movie about an AI that gains autonomy. It's a female AI. And utilizes her networks and her processing power and her connections to kind of terrorize this guy's life. And so she's kind of obsessed with him. And so that part I just mentioned was where she was like, "I want you to plug me in," and he's like, "Now unplug me." Plug me in, unplug me, faster. Oh yeah. Oh.
Yo, hey, hold on. Do you know what that reminds me of? You remember when I played the cringy game dialogue a few episodes ago, like about a month and a half ago, where the AI robot, you're like, you remember that's what that reminds me of.
Yeah, Atomic Heart.
Yeah.
It was like Jexy. Yeah.
That almost sounds like a really weird mix between The Matrix and fucking Ex Machina. To a degree.
Is that a good game?
No, that's Ex Machina.
It's Deus Ex.
It's a movie.
It's a movie.
You're mixing up Deus Ex with Ex Machina.
I was mixing it up.
That's all right. Interesting. Oh man. So, what the fuck? That I don't know. That's super crazy. But
it is.
Josh, do you want to grab the bucket again?
Oh no!
If I do,
you amputated him, you monster. Sugar G, how could you?
That's why his face is like this. Is he's always in pain, 24/7.
Oh, pure agony.
Josh was like, "How dare you disrespect Sugar G?" Chop.
What's my name? He's like, Josh. I'm like, no.
Oh no,
Sugar G.
All right. Well, we are playing a game called Match 5. We've played this once before on the show. Basically, everyone has an opportunity to gain a total of 5 points.
Fun.
If you make an incorrect guess, you are automatically deducted 1 point. So if you get 5 guesses wrong, you will end up with -5 points.
Ooh.
Okay. So it's kind of similar.
Game.
It's kind of similar to Review Bytes, but there's a lot more at risk here. Okay. So we're gonna start with Dom this time.
Oh.
And I will tell you that the theme of these are all video game characters. Just general, broad scope video game characters.
I'm guessing video game characters?
You're going to guess it's one video game character. I'm giving you 5 hints to figure it out.
Hey.
Oh, okay.
So if, like, for example, if I say 5 and you're like, it's not good enough, I don't know, then don't guess. I will say 4. What is your...
Oh, okay. I remember.
Yes, Reyes, your hand is up.
Do we have the phone a friend again?
No.
I would like to use it.
No.
Fuck. Okay.
I mean, if you really don't know, I custom crafted these, so these should all be characters that each and every one of you know.
Okay.
I got you.
Okay. All right, Dom, you're first. Hint number for 5 points. This character is voiced by D. Bradley Baker, who also voices a menagerie of characters from across many cartoons like SpongeBob, the Powerpuff Girls, and more.
Oh no.
He's also done plenty of video games too.
All right, we're gonna have to go to the next one.
Okay. For 4 points. This character was named after the owner of a local Indian restaurant that the developers frequently ate at.
Oh. Nah, I don't.
Okay.
I don't know that one.
It's all right. This character was a guest character in the video game Killer Instinct on Xbox.
I don't know Killer Instinct. Nah, I don't know that
Okay.
one either.
You don't want to mess with the general of this army as it emerges for you.
Emerges for you, General. I'm gonna go for it. For why not? It's not General Ram, is it?
It's General Ram.
Oh wow!
Dominic
I
with a
didn't know he
2-pointer.
voiced General
Hey,
Ram.
got him.
Yeah, that
Yes,
was a
sir.
great hint.
Wow.
Emerges for you.
Yeah, he
I
liked
like
that.
that.
I got that immediately when I got that.
And the last one was
Wow!
his last one was his death was at the hands of 2 gears on a train carrying a light mass bomb.
That would have been a pure giveaway.
Yeah,
What a fucking
that's-
game, by the way.
Yeah,
This is my favorite.
Ram was
Hopefully-
such a good villain. Ooh.
there
Gone
is
too
Gears
soon.
War 3 DLC they have with him. That's also really good.
Yep. Yep.
Sorry, I had to nerd out.
There is, just so you guys know, there is a theme for the 5-point question. It is a lot of voice actors, just so you guys know. All right, Josh, you're next.
So Dom gets 2 points for that.
He got 2 points, correct.
Okay. I just want to make sure I understand how it works.
Yep. All right, for 5 points, Josh. This character is voiced by Doug Stone, who is primarily known for his role as this character, but also many anime TV series over the years.
I recognize the name, but I can't pinpoint. Let's go on to the next one.
Okay, this one's a little obscure. But this character is referenced in Super Smash Bros. Brawl when one of the characters uses a particular taunt.
Go on.
Okay. This character killed his father after accidentally reading his mind and began to worry his father would kill him.
Psycho Mantis.
Holy fuck, dude. You're so,
Dang.
you're so good. Ah, dude, that was
You can't
fucking good.
you can't give me a Metal Gear character. I'm like Doug Stone. I was like, that sounds so
Yeah.
familiar.
The Smash one's really good too because he's like Psycho Mantis.
Well, the
Yeah.
moment you said he was referenced in one character's taunt in Brawl,
Yeah.
I'm like, it's a Metal Gear character,
Yeah,
but there are multiple.
Snake.
Oh, is there? Okay.
There's only Snake's the only Metal Gear one in that game though.
No, but there are multiple references to
my
other
bad,
Metal
my bad.
Gear characters through Snake.
Okay. The last two, just because I like to share the info. By breaking the fourth wall, this character could read the player's mind by reading data on the player's memory card and even making their controllers move.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
That's the one I figured you'd get it on. And then the last one was this masked character is known as Tretch. I don't know how to say it. It's
Tretchy Rebenok.
Yep, Tretchy Rebenok, or Third Child. Worked as a child soldier for the XOF. Which I was going to explain what the XOF was, but I figured you would have figured it out already by now. So, all right.
Okay.
Andres.
Thank you for giving me that one.
Yes.
Oh,
I hopefully you appreciated that one because
I do. It's one of my favorite characters.
Really? Mine too. That's awesome. All right, Reyes, you ready?
All right.
All right. This character is voiced by David Scully, who is primarily known for this particular role, but also voiced in other games like Sly Cooper and Fear.
Next.
All right. This character meets his demise at the hand of a floating drone-like monitor that was tasked to maintain a weapons installation.
Sergeant Johnson.
Fucking hell, dude.
Oh, wow.
Guilty
Halo,
Spark.
baby.
Nice, man.
Halo.
There you go.
Nice.
Dude, Reyes. I'm so proud of
Wow. That was very good. See,
knew
and
the
you,
name,
you
but I
were
didn't
worried
know.
you wanted to phone a friend and you got the most points out of all of us.
you so far. The other ones were
because that's an iconic scene though.
It's
It's an
certainly
icon.
is.
You know, I was so pissed. I was like, no.
It was so anticlimactic the
Yeah,
way
it
he
was.
went out because
It was.
Guilty Spark was just like, no, pew.
yeah, and he's
I know,
just
I know.
gone. He's just gone.
Are you kidding me? You survived everything else but this.
So the
I was-
remaining hints were this cigar-smoking Sergeant Major is heavily based on the character Gunnery Sergeant Al Apone from the film Aliens. And then in Halo Combat Evolved, the Elite's work sound is actually this character saying go, 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 but slowed down and reversed, which I did not know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So
Until-
if you would have done the question you asked me that I got right and flipped it with the third one, I wouldn't have gotten the third one.
All right, that's fair
So-
enough. I think. Well,
know what-
so go ahead.
You know what one of your hints should have been?
Is it the character's most famous line is "Dear humanity, we regret being alien bastards. We regret coming to Earth, and we most definitely regret that the Corps just blew up our raggedy ass fleet." And I couldn't.
Close.
I love it.
Yes.
Close.
Oh, did I
You
fuck it
should
up?
have said no.
Oh.
That line was correct. I'm saying it should have been. He would have been your daddy, but the dog beat him over the fence.
Is that a line? I don't remember that,
That
one
is
at all.
yeah, that's a line. That's
Is
what
it?
the skull is
Oh.
named after.
Oh, is it? Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. It's like a hidden line that only plays in the hardest difficulty at the very
Okay. Right.
last
oh,
level
so
of the first Halo.
I considered I didn't do that particular, but I was considering doing something on the with him and the Elite embracing.
Yeah, they hug.
Yeah. I was gonna do that one as the number one.
This is such a
But,
good scene.
All right, Dom, are you ready?
Oh, more. I'm actually excited. Come on.
All right, so for these last ones, they are only a potential of 3 points. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
so only 3 hints?
Yes, correct. Actually, Josh's has 4, but the last 2 are only worth 1 each. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So Dom.
Yeah.
This character is voiced by Michael Hollick, who is best known for his role as this particular character, but he's also been on various law-based television shows, like Law and Order and stuff like that.
Now you're going to have to tap out on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, so any actor ever.
Right. It's just if you recognize the name and you're willing to
I
take
know,
a shot.
I'm making a joke because
Yeah.
everybody's been on Law and Order at this point.
Oh, yeah, good point. All right. This Eastern European character struggled with life after being in the military and being in a smuggling ring, and joined the merchant navy to flee his life to start anew in the United States.
Can you repeat that?
I almost repeated in Halo Combat Evolved. No. This Eastern European character struggled with life after being in the military and then being in a smuggling ring. He joined the merchant navy to flee his current life and start anew in the United States.
Oh, I'm guessing Nico Bellic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Ooh.
I had to
Nice.
think about that. Yeah, that was good.
That was
You would
good.
have got it on the last one because this character's cousin will frequently call asking. if he'd
Nico,
like
let's
to
go bowling.
Yes.
Cousin.
All right.
That was good.
Josh. All right.
Yes.
I think you'll know this one pretty easy, but anyways. This character is voiced by Brandon Keener, who has acted and lent his voice, including to video games like Saints Row, LA Noire, and more.
No, keep going. I don't even recognize that name, I don't think.
Okay. This character received military training at age 15, became a securities officer, and defied direct orders to stop an investigation by joining the main character to prove the wrongdoings of another member of his race. It's a really long one.
15. I need the third one.
All right, there's actually 4, so these last 2 are worth one.
Right.
All right. Good eye, Sniper. This character is especially helpful to his crew using his custom targeting visor that he never removes.
I think I know. I definitely know.
Well, the last one's also worth 1.2. So
I know, but I guess, but I'm gonna feel like I cheat if I take the 4th one. But that's a great reference, and I'm gonna go with Garrus Vakarian.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What game is he from?
Mass Effect.
Mass Effect.
Oh, I know.
One of my favorite games.
Good
and
eye,
the last.
Sniper.
Yeah, I was hoping you.
That was for me.
That,
that was.
Yeah,
for
it was
me.
for you.
I blew my wad on the first one, so
Don't sell yourself short, buddy.
The last
just to
one.
let you know.
The last one, Josh. If you didn't know this, because I did not know this, if neither this character nor Tali Zora Vas Normandy are romanced by the main character in the game, they will enter a romantic relationship with each other and can be caught embracing each other in the in somewhere. I didn't write it down, so I didn't know that. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, it's great. Tali and Garrus are the best characters, so it's great that they wind up together.
If you don't,
yeah, no. I always romance Miranda. I mean, come on, look at her.
Wow, Josh. All right, Reyes, your last one. This is by far the easiest one on the entire fucking game, so like no pressure. Okay.
Fuck you.
He's voiced by Charles Martinet.
It's by far the easiest one, so if you don't get it, you're a dumbass.
All right.
But no.
This character is voiced by Troy Baker, who has been in a significant amount of video games over the years.
Okay.
Next.
Yeah.
This character was an ex-military member who then became a carpenter.
Ex-military? I don't know.
This character is tasked with escorting a young girl across the country.
Wait a minute. What'd you say?
This character is tasked with escorting a young girl across the country.
Is it I'm just gonna say it because you said young girl across the country. I'm gonna take a guess. Is it Last of Us?
I need the character.
Joel.
Yeah, good enough. I will accept it.
I didn't know he was military.
Yeah, he was in the military.
I didn't know he was a carpenter.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know he was a carpenter either. I'm like,
I guess it explains why he's good at like the craft bench.
The only thing I know is like tasked with escorting a young girl across the country, and I was like, we just talked about Last of Us, and we just watched it, and I was like,
I just want to say, Reyes, you were the hardest person to pick game characters for, because I'm like, man, who the fuck is he gonna know? Like, I was like,
thank you. That's the same thing I thought.
I was looking through like, you know, Divinity and all these other games, and I was like, I almost did another one from Halo, but I'm like, do you know what? I know you watched the show at least, and that is super close to the game, so maybe you'd get it. So awesome.
What's Joel's last name? Did you write that down?
It is Joel Miller. Yes.
What else did you have for General Rom? You already told me the ones you had for General Rom, right?
Yeah, his last one was his death was at the hand of 2 gears on a train carrying a light mass bomb.
Oh, that was so good. There's so many references you can make with that one.
I know. I had something. This like it's so much work. but I have
Oh,
so
if you
much fun with
reference
this game.
like he could use Krill to his,
That-
like
I was gonna do that. This character is defeated because he lost his. I didn't know how I wanted to word it, but I didn't
oh
want
yeah,
to say
that would be hard to
Krill.
word.
Yeah,
What's
Krill would've
the
given
what's
it
the
away.
hardest difficulty of Gears? Insane? Is it insane?
It's
don't
insane.
know.
Yes, it's insane.
I think a charity event at some point needs to be me and Dom playing through the Gears trilogy on Insane.
I will
yeah.
do that.
Fuck yeah.
I will do
And
that.
a counter for how many times you do.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. For
I
sure.
would 100% do. That sounds amazing.
And people betting on how many deaths you'll have accumulated by the end.
Or like
do a
I have to
50-50
donate
raffle.
$10 per death.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh,
And I get the
actually
laugh.
That can be Josh's Elden Ring charity stream.
Oh, dude, if we do that, I'm gonna
Fuck
cry like
that.
2 times.
I'll do Gears. I don't know if I'll do Elden Ring.
I own
Weird,
Elden
hurt me.
Ring, and I was going to play it, and then I saw Post streaming it, and I saw his counter up at like. I was like, oh, how many deaths do you have so far? And it was like at 58. And I was like, nope.
Oh, that was pretty early on in the game.
I was gonna say 58. What was he? 3 hours in?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, it was early on, and I was like, it was 50. I was like, how long have you been playing? He's like, only a couple hours.
Yeah.
I was like, you died 58 times.
I still have to play that game one
Yeah,
of these days.
Oh, it's so
I think
fun.
I think I stopped. I was at like 538.
When are you
or
gonna go
something like
back?
that. I don't know.
Jeez,
one of these
538 deaths.
days. Yeah, my buddy 40. He had 700 something. I think when he beat the game,
Oh, 40 was.
Wow.
or
40
was he more
was-
than that?
I don't. Might have been more or less.
I want to find somebody who's beat the game with 5 or less deaths.
That's.
I mean,
look
it's,
it up on YouTube.
it's possible, but
Yeah, I mean, people do no death runs of the entire series.
Yeah,
Like,
some
Oh,
psycho did that.
it's insane.
yeah, it's
Jeez.
outrageous. Speaking of Elden Ring, one of my favorite games, one of the best games in recent memory. Let's talk about one of the worst ones,
Ooh.
and that's Redfall.
Redfall.
Just really quick, because I want to go from this to another topic about AAA games and the cost to make them. But Redfall, like I said before, is still on my Xbox app, paused at 38%.
Now, in all fairness, none of us have played this game.
That's true. That's a very good caveat.
I've
Very
only
good point.
seen gameplay and things that make me. The reason why I put it there is because I've seen gameplay and I realized that everything about it looks dated.
Everything.
The AI's
yeah.
dated at least, and the
It's
visuals
sitting-
aren't like up there, but you know.
Yeah,
It
I
looks
mean,
sitting-
I was looking forward to it from the trailer, and I was like, oh, I mean, okay, good theme, and seems, it seems like okay,
Yeah.
the
dialogue.
story about you're fighting vampires. Haven't seen this in a while, and so I'm like, okay, I'm excited for it. And with
Yeah.
all the new, technology and everything we have out, I'm expecting it, to be pretty good because they've been hyping it up. And so but coming on and hearing earlier how the reviews pretty much trashed it, it's just like it makes me feel. When we were younger, you may not remember this, young blood, but we do. When we were younger, when you were at the bus stop and you used to see all those Native American pictures with just the main Native American face with just the tear coming down.
I'm sorry.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel inside. It's just like that one tear coming down of just disappointment and expectations not met.
Can I just appreciate Post and I both looked at our cameras. I feel like we were looking at each other. Like, where is he going with this?
I just
felt though, that Native American, that tear when he comes.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get
yeah,
it. But
yeah,
this is
yeah.
really like, remember when you were at the bus stop and you saw that Native American and we're like, wait, what?
That random Native American
But
walking
yeah,
around.
You saw that there on the bus. Well, I don't know
Right,
if you took the bus stops back in the day as much as I
No,
did.
it was a very famous campaign
Yes.
about littering.
Yeah.
But yes, you're
Yeah.
correct. Yes, it was a Native American who was very upset at how we're treating the land by polluting and littering and such. And yes, you are correct. With the one tier, it is very strong symbol. And yeah, you're right. Like that's, I guess, a very good way to metaphorically put our
I just
disappointment.
remember it because back then I was at the bus stop daily, multiple times a day, and I saw it every single.
And honestly,
place.
if we could take an aside, that is a great advertising campaign because it has stuck with you all these years later.
It really has. It has. And so but that's when I heard the bad reviews of Redfall. That's how it made me feel inside. Like I was him, like just crying that one tear.
Yep.
Redfall also had despite everything being bad about it, the dialogue was probably, I think, one of the worst things about it.
No.
From the little I've heard from it, a lot of it was very corny, safe stuff.
That seems to be a common theme too. Didn't we talk about that with Forspoken?
Yep, Forspoken and Atomic, whatever it's called.
Atomic Heart, yep.
And that game performed so badly that Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, was very truthful about how he felt about the game and how that Xbox is failing.
He did have that. He did say that.
I own an Xbox Series X, and I was very hopeful for it. And to hear that everything's crumbling apart is very sad.
I mean, there's so many different things at play when it comes to that. A lot of their focus, like Xbox isn't the one making the game, but a lot of their focus is on getting the Activision thing going through. So there's a lot of resources going into that. And to be honest, they probably, saw this game and they're like, well, we're too far in. Let's get the free plays on Game Pass and, get the few people. I mean, and they charge it's just not
$70.
$70. Don't even get me started.
Oh, geez. Well, and what sucks is like this is Bethesda publishing, and it's Arcane who made Dishonored and Prey, and like that's a good track record. Like Prey was really good. And I guess they made Wolfenstein Youngblood.
What was the other game? Oh shit! I'm sorry, I forgot.
Deathloop.
It was Deathloop. Yes.
Yeah. People like that game, despite it being a roguelike.
I didn't hate it. I didn't love it.
I didn't like it at all, but I don't like roguelikes. So what are you gonna do? But I loved Prey. Like Prey 2017, I loved.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was such a unique game. Go ahead.
Another bad thing about Redfall. So Xbox Series X was marketed as one of the more powerful consoles out there, right?
Yeah.
That game was locked at 30 frames on console.
Mm-hmm.
Locked at 30 FPS.
Yep.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that game was just a technical mess. Like, I can look past some of that shit, but like when the AI is as bad as it is in that particular game, that's when I just can't anymore.
Yeah, and that's what it's such a shame too, because it seems like there were a lot of good ideas. Like from what I've seen of like the environmental design and like the character design and stuff, like it looks really cool. Like and that's what sucks about these kinds of games. You could see that there's something there that like the execution just fails spectacularly, and you're like, man,
it makes me hope that it was almost just released a little bit too early, and that they may have been rushed to release it. It makes me hope. It makes me hope that happened, but it's still doubtful.
We talked about this last time, I think, with Suicide Squad, where it was delayed indefinitely.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this might have had the opposite, where it was like they didn't show Redfall at all. No. You know what I mean? Like we got like 2 trailers, I think, and then the game released. Whereas if they had done like an extensive like this is what the game is and gotten feedback, or maybe even like an early access thing, and they could have
beta.
Yeah, delayed it a bit to kind of hammer it out, but they didn't do that. They just released it at 70 the way it was.
Yep.
So, I mean, maybe that is good for Suicide Squad, seeing this of like, well, we could just release it as a massive piece of shit, or we can spend the time, we can get the feedback, and we can actually put something out that we're proud of. I don't know. I feel bad for the developers in that case, Ray, as if they were forced to push it out.
And it makes you wonder if they were, it's like, hey, push it out. We have all these other constraints happening. Just, let's see how it runs, and then we can try and perform patches later on. But at the same time, if the reviews are that bad, how many people are you going to get coming back, after all those patches, so it I
Well,
don't think it's worth it in the end.
Well,
So,
but
hold
what's
on.
that game? Go ahead, Post. I'm sorry.
Fallout 76, again, Bethesda Publishing, right? That game is a million times better now. I mean, I still won't play it just on,
I might try it.
Principle.
but yeah, just on principle. But, they could do the same thing for this game. But Fallout 76's issues were all just technical issues, like things were buggy, broken,
Yeah.
unoptimized.
Missing.
Yeah, exactly. Where this game is like you'd have to rework completely, like the AI, like the AI. Honestly, I could put up with like shitty writing to a degree, but like when the AI is as bad as it is in Redfall,
Yeah, and it's
You wanna
all
know a good example
PVE,
of the
right?
AI?
yeah, it's all PVE.
A great example of the AI would be like, let's say like Post is looking at me, right? And there's like a little like box in front of me and Post is like trying to chase after me. He only went straight into the box that won't move. And I'm just gonna stand there and look at him while he
So
tries to
bad.
run at me through this box.
Jeez.
Like I could put up with that in a 1994 PlayStation 1 game, not in a 2023 AAA exclusive. Which brings me to my next point. If you didn't have any other points on this, Josh.
All I was gonna say is I see this going the way of so there was Back for Blood, which was that game from the people who made Left 4 Dead that went off and made another game. What have you heard about Back for Blood since it came out?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Someone made me play it once.
It launched and it was very like nobody really liked it. It was forgotten about like within a week, and you haven't heard anything about it. That's unfortunately like what I see Redfall doing.
That's
And
probably the best
Back
case
for-
scenario for it, to be honest.
Back 4 Blood
Yeah.
also had to fight against Left 4 Dead, like those Left 4 Dead hardcore fans, and that's like really hard to take over, especially since those characters in those games are so lovable, and none of the characters in Back 4 Blood have that lovable charm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I just mean in general, just like
Oh,
that.
okay, sorry.
I just mean like that kind of launch where it launched and like, and people were like, well, maybe they can make it better over time, and then they just don't, and it just fades away. There was another game like it where it was like, I don't know if you remember this Post. There was like it was similar to Left 4 Dead ish, but like there was like a big monster that one person played as, and then
Evolve.
the other yeah, that was a very similar one where it just kind of died out like within a week, and then
Which is
nobody
weird,
talked
'cause
about it ever
I
again.
actually, we played that a couple times.
I did
together.
not.
Now,
I
actually
thought
have
we
a
played the
question
beta.
for you all.
Nope.
Okay.
I actually have a question for you all, and it came from something you said a little bit earlier in this particular topic. Forsaken, and I've seen the trailers on it, and I actually
Forsaken or Forspoken?
Forspoken, as I were. You're right. You're correct. Forspoken, and I purchased it. Haven't played it yet, but you said you had some issues with it.
I did not. I did not.
My issues were with the dialogue.
Well,
that's
that's
pretty much it.
And I didn't even have issues with the dialogue, but people did.
Yeah.
Okay, but besides that, the gameplay has been pretty.
It looks
pretty
okay.
good with your experience.
I didn't play it that much, but I was completely fine with it. I played it 2 hours, so I can't say much. But
okay, so nothing of the level of this.
no,
Okay.
no. I will say, like Forspoken, like the worst thing I could say about it is that there's nothing special about it.
Yeah.
Like it's very middle of the road kind of mediocre gameplay.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna remember it in 6 years if you play it. But
Okay.
Redfall, you might, based on what I'm seeing.
I'll bet.
But for the wrong reasons,
Yes, exactly.
Forspoken's like a fleshed out game, though, right? Like nothing's like terrible about it, or
I don't think so.
normally,
No.
yeah.
Yeah, again, like I think the worst thing
like
you
a
could say
middle of
about
the
it is
road.
that it's just mediocre. Like it's
Like
not
compared
bad.
to like Redfall, that's like an actual finished product type of game. And Redfall isn't finished. At all.
I can't say I haven't played Redfall.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I'm just saying I can't speak to that.
It's still a shame. It's a shame.
Well, and to
Definitely.
Post's point, it's a shame that this releases at $70, and
I couldn't even believe the price point.
Well,
Yeah.
and it's a thing that like I'm a loud, avid supporter of Game Pass, and all this does is hurt it because it just adds to the list of games that could have been and didn't deliver. And Game Pass has a lot of them. Let's be honest.
So let me ask you, like, going back 2 generations, do you remember how the Wii kind of became the platform for shovelware?
I didn't. Yeah, kinda. I didn't
like
really
just
have
how
one.
any game would just like there would be like the Greatest Chef game and like
Oh, sure, yeah.
like
Yeah.
Minute to Win It, just like these
Yeah.
random like little
okay,
shovelware
yes.
games. Do you see Game Pass becoming that, where it's just like the level of expectation and quality gets so low where like developers are just gonna go to Game Pass and Game Pass is gonna be like, sure, just publish it here for whatever, and it's just gonna become littered with
So
like a couple AAA, but then like a bunch of
right. So
trash.
Can I barge in real quick?
Please.
Yes.
So didn't the 360 do something like that, like with the arcade?
With
where, like,
arcade,
anyone
sure.
can make
Yeah.
a random fucking game.
Yeah, well, that was their indie showcase, though. That's what a lot of that was that.
That's true.
And I don't want to say like that indie game devs are shovelware, because there's a lot that are not.
No, especially now. But
Right.
I just mean, do you like if these big games that are coming out to Game Pass keep failing? Do you see it as a place where it's just like, all right, well, we have to make it, worth the money, so we're just going to shove anything on there.
If it's becoming a common occurrence. I think back to like Halo, and
Infinite?
Halo was fine. Yeah, Infinite. Yep.
Yeah.
And now Redfall, and there's been others. Nothing like Redfall yet, though. Like if they have a couple more Redfalls, that's gonna severe like if Starfield, like and Phil Spencer said this in his interview, like if that game comes out and it's a 6 out of 10, that's gonna be a huge knock for me against what Xbox and Microsoft and anything that they publish can do. Right? Now, I'm not expecting it to be perfect, right? Like he even said, like, you can't expect this game to be an 11 out of 10. It's a Bethesda game. It's a huge open world RPG. It's not going to be like, it's not. But like, hey, if this game comes out and it's like a solid 8, like, then yeah. But
Yeah,
you
I
can't,
think it needs to be good, and it could be great.
Yes. And that's honestly, like, that's the reason I love Game Pass, because there's a shit ton of games on it right now that like I wouldn't buy at full price, but I get the opportunity to play it within my subscription. And there's been times where I liked a game so much I went and bought it. Like Signalis being one, Firewatch being one. There's a couple others. So
I mean, I think it's a good area to really test out the waters, really. So to test out the waters of some of these games, and again, that really may not be as well known, and to really
right, it's
just
the exposure.
go in the Game Pass, get that exposure, and try it. And yes, you're definitely going to have a ton of duds, but out of some of those, you're going to find some gems that will appeal to some people, or to someone. And it's it's really high. And it's really a trial, because you can't really be like, okay, this is going to appeal to everyone. Not everything is going to be everybody's cup of tea.
Right.
Right. So, so it's really the diversification of that, I think, is what is the appeal of it.
Yes.
Too. But, and at the same time, you can expand upon that. But I think to Josh's comment, I think Sugar G was right on that when he was stating, when he was stating, when you take a pond or a lake and all of a sudden you expand it into an ocean, okay, that's a lot to go through. Our ocean today, we've been on here and we still haven't explored all of it. How much more how much more are you going to go through, and how much more is going to get lost of exploration if they keep on loading and loading and loading more games in there, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, where's the sweet spot of how many games can be in there at one time? And I think they're refining that, but they have to keep it at a reasonable scale.
I want to interject. They can have as many games on there as they want. What they can't have is more games like Redfall.
Like hyped and then fail, or
yes, just technical.
Was Redfall even hyped?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Ish.
I was excited for it. I was excited for it.
I thought it looked shitty from the first trailer.
Yeah.
I thought it looked
all right. I mean, I thought it looked all right. I thought it looked interesting. It was an interesting idea, but again, like they talk about vertical slice, right? Like they only show you a little tiny bit to get you excited, but you don't see the full picture.
Right.
And that Redfall is a perfect example of that, where it was like what they showed you was like, yeah, that sounds interesting. I can't wait to see how they execute that. Oh, they don't. Okay, I got it.
Yeah. Huge disappointment. And I'll I don't even want to talk about it anymore because it makes me sad.
That's fair. So just as a thought experiment, I'm just curious on what you think was so Redfall is probably the biggest disappointment thus far in like a Game Pass launch. What do you think was the biggest success?
It's a good thought.
I don't.
Sea of Thieves is one.
But Sea of Thieves didn't really like excel hard excel.
Sea of Thieves has had staying power, though. That's a good point.
That's why I say Sea of Thieves, because most people would never have even tried Sea of Thieves had it not been on Game Pass. And Sea of Thieves is a great one where it benefited greatly from Game Pass. I'm just trying to look through like what's available on here right now.
Yeah,
statistically, this might be false. I will say like Gears 5. That game was hyped up a little bit, right?
Yeah, but did it live up to that hype? Or
hell no.
That's my point.
For someone who's a longtime supporter and lover of the game, for someone who is either just getting into Gears or whatever, they might. It was fine. It wasn't a technological
There's a lot of new
mess.
people on that game.
I'm just saying, it's not like another good one's like Hellblade, where it's I think I don't know if you guys have ever played Hellblade, but that's a game that I think has benefited from Game Pass, because I probably would not have bought it had I not played it on Game Pass.
I'm just trying to think of like one big launch that was like, yeah, it's on Game Pass, and that that was, and it like Psychonauts 2, I think.
Yeah, Psychonauts 2
might do that.
Do that. I think.
I don't think it launched on Game Pass, but I know the Master Chief Edition, was on Game Pass, and I really like that.
Yeah.
Well, and it like Game Pass coincided with that big update that Master Chief Collection got.
Yep.
Like
where it fixed like most of the issues that were on the retail launch. So
yeah.
That's a good call too, because that was one of the big. Go ahead.
A Plague's Tale.
Oh, A Plague's Tale?
Requiem or
Requiem.
Innocence was for because
Requiem's on Game Pass.
Yeah, when it released.
That's a good game on Game Pass. 7 Days to Die as well. But those are not like, I don't know, that's not like console sellers. If we're looking for that.
See, that's the thing. Like, it's so hard to come up with like one definitive, like great big launch, but you can very easily come up with a big failure. And that's an interesting observation. It's not necessarily good or bad. It's just interesting.
Yeah, I'm just
Forza.
Forza,
Forza.
Yeah,
it popped up, and I'm like, how did I not think of it? I just looked it up.
That is true.
So
Forza. Especially like Horizon 4, like that was a big one for Game Pass when it first launched.
Yeah, Forza.
That's a good point, Josh. I'm just
crazy
looking.
to me.
Go ahead.
How many people love racing games? I mean, Forza games in general, because those are kind of like very streamlined
All right, guys.
I think they're kind of boring sometimes.
Write it down. Dominic is racist. Post. Thank you, sir.
Oh no. Anyways. But I think the way I look at Game Pass, the ideal appeal is for games like just kind of going through like recent-ish games like Metal Hellsinger. That's a super fun what do you call that? Rhythm game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, well, Hi-Fi Rush as well.
Yeah, Hi-Fi Rush. That's another one
Hi-Fi
that came
Rush
out
was
fucking out of nowhere.
Amazing.
I have not played that yet. That's one of my weekend
really
ones
good.
that I want to play sometime. Scorn, not every that was a one I really
Scorn's
enjoyed.
Cool.
I really, so like Somerville. I don't know if you guys have ever played Somerville, but that is an awesome.
No, it was my gym teacher.
I have not played this before, but it said and just last year, 2022, the biggest Game Pass release was High on Life.
Oh,
not anymore. Not anymore.
Yeah. I was like, I've never played it. I haven't even heard of it.
Justin Roiland. Yeah, Justin Roiland wrote and voice acted in that game, and he's the guy who made Rick and Morty. And he's recently had some legal troubles, we'll say, and
no.
Yeah, so he won't be coming back to Rick and Morty, and life is kind of tainted.
I will say that game for the first hour or so is super fucking awesome.
It's really interesting and fun, and then it gets real old.
It does. It's like I couldn't and that's hard. Like normally I could put up with that stuff, but man, I just could not.
I'm 100% with you. I cannot deal with this humor for more than 2 hours max.
Yep. What was the humor like? Like I've never
If you've
played
seen
it.
Rick and Morty,
it was just like that.
Yeah, it's exactly the same thing. It's literally Rick and Morty if it was a video game.
Yeah. Okay.
So, so I wanted to transition from that to Redfall was a $70 game.
Amen.
Yeah. The AAA, there's an article on IGN. Originally, the article said that publishers reporting that AAA franchises cost over $1 billion to make. It originally said AAA titles, but they changed it to AAA franchises, so that makes more sense.
Yeah, but that's also what does that mean?
So you're talking about the cost of development plus all of the advertising,
marketing,
and advertising. So to a degree, I understand.
But what do they mean by franchise, right? So
let's say fucking Call of Duty. Just say Modern Warfare.
GTA 6 is in the billions, right?
Well, that's the unicorn. You can't
but
compare
also,
Grand Theft Auto to anything else.
I doubt GTA 6 has cost $1 billion at this point.
I think I've seen an article about it.
Yeah, there was something last year.
But again, it's all speculation. And
okay.
I doubt, because how can you develop a game? They're not marketing GTA 6 at all.
The GTA 6, so it was the GTA 6 budget is reportedly $1 to $2 billion. Budget.
Okay.
So that is everything from development to marketing to
publishing,
and 10 years from
paying
now,
their employees.
Well, I mean, yeah. While the game itself is only going to be about $250 million, right?
Yeah. 750. Yeah.
So, I mean, does the whole? We've talked about this before. You can't release a game like Redfall at $70.
Well, and I'd even argue, let's go across the board and talk about Tears of the Kingdom, which is a completely 100% applauded game. People are loving it, but that launched at $70.
Did it really?
On the Switch.
Yeah, that just blows my fucking mind. What? Hold on, development costs for fucking.
Well, and Breath of the Wild, I want to see how much that cost at launch. $60. So
the the budget for Breath of the Wild was only $120 million.
Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom?
Breath of the Wild. they didn't. I didn't. There's no information.
It's got to be
yet.
comparable, though. It's got to be.
Yeah,
comparable.
I'm sure it's about the same. So basically,
it's old hardware, so it can't cost that much more.
And all they got to do is sell 2 million copies to make a profit.
Right.
That's it. And that
I
game's gonna sell what, like 10?
At least. I think it's outrageous that they've gone with this old hardware that they haven't updated. And we talked about that before, where it's just like, hey, it's a new screen. That's all we got for you on this Switch. And yet they're still charging $10 more for this game just because they know people will buy it.
Yeah. Well, and Nintendo's notoriously bad for that too.
Yeah, for their first party title.
Yeah. It's so frustrating. It's getting more and more expensive to be a gamer, and it's, you know, that's why Game Pass has a place.
Absolutely.
So I just, man, it gets me frustrated.
It made me think about, okay, what are the most expensive games that have ever really flopped?
Ooh.
Right?
That's a good one.
So I was like, I'm wondering, what are the most expensive games that have ever flopped, you know? And so I'm looking, I'm trying to look it up right now. And
do you think Ghost is a flop, like Call of Duty Ghost?
I mean,
no, it probably still made profit.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
Oh. All right, here we go. I found a list.
All right, what do we got?
I'll go 10. I'll go from 10 to 1. So Shenmue, it's a ninja game, if I remember right.
Shenmue, really?
The first one?
I know Shenmue.
The original, the 1997 game.
That became a cult classic. I mean,
it had a then unprecedented $70 million budget.
Ooh.
But it doesn't tell
in
you
'97. That was before Dom was born.
Yeah.
Jeez.
However, due to largely to its protracted development period, the game never gained a fraction of the attention it was expected, and it very nearly bankrupted Sega.
Wow.
They made a sequel, though. That's what's weird.
Well, you learn from your mistakes. Number 9 was Duke Nukem Forever.
Yeah, of course.
Oh.
That was in development for like over a decade, though.
Yeah. You know what? What's that game? Is it Beyond Good and Evil? Is that what I'm thinking of?
Yeah,
that
Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Like 20 years or whatever.
Yeah,
Anyways,
they're still making it.
List. Yeah, I know.
But it's still not out.
Driver 3 is number 8 on the list from Atari.
I can see that.
Yep.
Oh, isn't Driver 3 like incredibly hard?
No, Driver 1 was incredibly hard.
Say, yeah, Driver 1.
Okay, wrong game.
Dude, just going through the fucking garage. Anyways.
Yeah, you know exactly what it was.
I've seen a video about that.
I just saw Marvel's Avengers had an approximately $67 million loss.
Yep, that's actually a great example.
I was like, wow.
They practically just abandoned that game. It was supposed to be a live service game where like they kept updating it over time.
Oh yeah.
Nobody bought it.
Yeah. Jeez.
There's Superman on the N64.
Of course.
A game called Lair on PlayStation 3.
Yep. I remember.
I heard about Lair.
Yeah.
Pac-Man on the
first
Atari
one, like
on the Atari.
Oh, on the 2600.
Yeah. Then there's a game called
E.T. of course.
Yep. Yeah. E.T.'s actually E.T.'s number 1.
Well, they put it in a fucking landfill. Of course, it's number 1.
Tomb Raider: Angel of Darkness. I think is surprising.
Yeah, no, that game was horrible. And it was right at the height of Tomb Raider, and it was the first PS2 Tomb Raider game, and they just dropped the fucking ball with that game. Like that's when the original Tomb Raider team, like they took the license from them. They're like, nope, you can't make Tomb Raider anymore, guys. You're done. And then they gave it to Crystal Dynamics.
Oh, wow.
And they've been making it ever since.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Angel of Darkness is a great example.
Okay. Yeah, and then number 1 was E.T. And last
Did Death Stranding flop?
No, not at all.
Didn't? Oh, all right.
That's
I actually things about that.
I actually just reinstalled it because I wanted to play it. For some reason, I had this weird itch to play it.
Can you record it for me so I don't have to? Because Jesus,
Norman Reed.
Do you really want me to?
Fucking game. Yeah, I don't want to play that game at all.
Okay.
Oh man. Okay,
But Josh, you could be Norman Reedus.
I'm looking at a different list, and than what you.
My
read
list was
out.
better than your list.
And but it has some interesting ones and things I had never thought about, or if I had, like some of these are old names, like Def Jam Rap Star, which was released in 2010 on PS3, Wii, and Xbox 360, published by Konami. And the
Explains a
fallout.
lot.
Yep, the fallout of it was basically, you were supposed to rap in karaoke with rap songs. uh, Problem was that they didn't really get, kind of how music licensing worked.
Oh no!
So,
Really? Is that what happened?
yeah. Yeah, and so in 2012 they got sued for over 54 songs for 150,000 each, totaling over 8 million, which bankrupted them and caused them to close the studio
Oh man.
entirely. So I was like, wow, some of these are like intense. Like I had no idea that
It's
it can
camping.
get so intense. Another one called Lair, which came out in 2007. Developers are Factor 5, published by Sony. Only
Factor 5
came
is so
out on
good.
PlayStation. And their studio also closed.
Mm-hmm.
And so the game cost about 25 million, but because they didn't design it right, they had a messed up, like viewpoint of the entire screen and had numerous technical problems. And so the bombing of it caused them to fall out with LucasArts, which bombed another deal that they had with another game and ended up closing their studio as well. I mean, it's just a chain reaction with some of these. This one, I've never heard of this one. You might have heard of this one, Poster Boy, because this is back when, it's when we were like teenagers, brand new teenagers. It's called
Brand new teenagers.
Yeah, like 13.
Oh, okay. Like wow, fresh
It
teenagers.
says, I don't know. Maybe Josh has heard of this one because
I'm sure Josh
think
more so than I.
I think maybe Youngblood may have still been semen. So I think it's called. I don't even know how to say it. Uru, URU. Ages Beyond Mist.
Ages Beyond Mist. Oh, dude. We're talking about Mist now. That's my fucking bread and butter, my friend.
Yeah, Mist.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
they ended up fixing it way later, though, to be fair.
Yeah, but I guess it almost bankrupted them.
Yep. That killed the Mist franchise.
Oh, really?
For a
you
long
might
time.
know more about this than I'm reading, but it's so basically an adventure game set up in the popular Mist universe. Took 5 years to make, 12 million to complete, and a good amount of that cost roughly it went into multiplayer portion of the game.
Yep. They tried to make an MMO Mist. It was
really?
1994.
They had to scrap it.
No, in 2003.
Oh,
That's
the year I was born.
It was a massive, massive failure.
Yeah, and so it only sold between, I think, 100 to 400,000 copies in the United States up to 3 years after it was released.
Hold on, I have to ask, what was the release date for that game?
I think it was 2003.
No, the actual, what month? Because I need to know, did that game die so Dom could run? Or
November 11th, 2003.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
I would have loved if that was the day Dom was born.
Yeah.
No, it was October 9th.
No, we don't need to know.
Surprisingly, surprisingly, the reason why it survived was because the online portion, the PC portion, with a lot of modders and fans, helped it. I was
going to say, you can still play that game online to this day thanks to community servers.
Yep.
Yeah. And so this is just crazy. Just reading out some of these, it's like a blast from the past for some people, and some of them I've never heard of before. 1997. I doubt any of us will know this. It's called The Last Express.
Yeah, that was an adventure game. I played it.
You did?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Developer Smoking Car Productions. The publishers was Broderbund. It was only on the PC. And what happened was that they lost millions and the studio ended up closing. So it was a mystery game. Takes place on the train, the Orient Express, and basically it took 4 years to produce, was severely over budget, and they had 60 full-time employees working on it, but the entire marketing team quit just before the game came out.
That'll do it.
The entire marketing team. They still don't know why, but the game was only on shelves for about 2 months before basically it became impossible to find. And
That's rough for the developers. Like they make this game and then all of a sudden just the marketing team up and leaves, and it's just like, nope, now your game's dead.
Yep, and then it went under, and the studio went under. So since then, it's been re-released on Android, Windows, iOS, and Mac. 14 years after the game initially released, and still horribly flopped. It says.
Wow, that's interesting. Because I played it on iPad. Somebody actually recommended it to me on my YouTube channel because I liked the Titanic adventure game, Titanic Adventure at a Time. And they're like, you should play The Last Express, and I did, and I loved it.
Oh wow, they suggested it.
Yeah,
they suggested it, and I played it.
That's unheard of.
It's almost like that's the theme.
Well, there's 8 more, and this one I remember when this came out. I wanted to play it. It was hyped up. Aliens Colonial Marines.
Oh, everybody hated that game.
I remember when it came out, it was hyped up, and then I heard the reviews were just brutal, and everybody hated it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Came out 2013. Who published it?
Sega.
Yep. And so the fallout of it, they have class action lawsuits, layoffs with millions of dollars lost. I mean, it's
that was Gearbox too. That was one of Gearbox's.
Yep.
Like few failures besides like Duke Nukem, because they finished Duke Nukem Forever. So
the game was in development for 4 years, and the demo didn't represent what the game was in the marketing at all, I guess.
Really?
And so it was released to negative reviews. Players launched a class action lawsuit against Sega for using fake and misleading demos of the game. Damn.
Ooh.
Publishers paid a $1.25 million loss settlement for that. And Gearbox claimed they lost $10 to $15 million. The CEO of Gearbox, of his own money in that game.
Bobby Kotick? Isn't that Bobby Kotick?
Randy Pitchford.
Randy Pitchford. I always mix those two up.
What's his last name?
Pitchford.
So Pitchford.
That's fun.
10 to $15 million of his own money horribly flopped. So, and then, no idea. I remember The Walking Dead came out, but they said that was a flop too.
Yeah.
Overkill's The Walking Dead in 2018.
Not the adventure game.
The new one. Okay.
No, it wasn't even a new one. It was
that's crazy.
It was a really, really, really bad. You played as Daryl Dixon and his brother.
Oh,
and
Merle.
Yeah. Yes, and it was really, really, really bad.
I heard about that game actually.
Oh, okay.
At least 60 jobs and millions of dollars lost in the fallout of that one. Jeez, I'm like, there is some savage fallout in these.
Oh yeah.
Like, wow. And
so right now, all you're doing is making it more justified for these $70 price points.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, just because the risk is higher doesn't mean the consumer has to pay more, right?
Yeah.
But that's what they're doing anyways.
Well, good point.
I've never heard of this game. Somebody please let me know if you have. All Points Bulletin.
Yeah, APB.
They actually still update. And
shit.
Like they have a very cult following for that game still.
Yep.
Really?
I know that
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
I have not heard of
before.
it. So I guess it says it was released in 2010, and
flopped back then. I think.
the fallout from it was 150 jobs lost and $105 million lost. But from what you're all saying, it was a pretty good following.
Cult following.
Yeah, well, and there was a lot of,
bad.
and it flopped probably because there was a lot of money in marketing behind that game.
Yep.
Like it was everywhere for a little bit, but yeah, it wasn't great. I remember there was a lot of customization
Yeah.
in that game. Like you
that
could
thing was supposed to be
Yeah.
like GTA Online before
Yes.
GTA Online.
basically, yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it cost 105 million to make, and the game it says that the game had a strange subscription-based service where players could buy 20 hours of time.
I don't remember that, but
I do remember that. It was really
Yeah.
weird.
You
Because I
know,
played
and-
like 2 hours. They were like, you get 2 hours free. So I played like the first 2 hours and I was like, I'm not paying for this. And then I
Yeah.
never did. So that was probably everybody.
that's one of the very first games I played on my PC.
Agreed.
Really?
Believe it or
Me
not.
too.
Believe it,
Yeah.
believe it or not. Yeah.
Wow.
So it says the game was released in June, and by August, they basically were placed in bankruptcy.
I remember it did go free to play at one
Wow.
point.
It's free to
That-
play still, I think.
Okay.
That is a fast turnaround.
And still being updated, just throwing it out there.
That is
so like
insane, dude. Wow. Yeah, they have a Twitter.
yeah.
What?
I see their updates on Facebook all the time.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's
Holy shit, they released an update yesterday.
Yes. Yes. I know. That's why I'm like, yeah, dude.
For them.
I was like, wow, this is crazy.
I mean, hey,
okay,
they got to make
another
all the
game
money
you-
back they lost.
yeah. So okay, again, everyone, let me know. So came out
Let you
in
know what.
2017.
Uh-oh.
The publisher was Nixon. Developers Boss Key Productions, and the fallout of this. They had to close down their studio, but the game is called Lawbreakers.
Oh, I remember that game. I did not play that game because I thought it looked stupid.
This is one I don't think I even remember seeing.
It was
I've seen it before.
yeah.
That was it. I never
Mm,
played
oh,
it.
so
It was a
do you
shooter,
want to
right?
talk about it a little bit? Yeah, an
Yeah, it was-
online hero
Yeah,
shooter.
I was gonna say it was like Overwatch, but like
So they were
not-
trying to jump on the Overwatch train.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
well,
funny.
no,
Yeah.
that was the game where it was
Paladin?
Cliffy
Developed
B.
by Gears of War.
I was gonna say it's
creator.
Cliffy B. Cliffy B was
Yeah.
involved in that.
Oh, I wanted to say when you said Lawbreakers, I was like, was that the one that Cliffy B did? So yeah,
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
know that.
And his newly formed studio, Boss Key Productions. So
Yep.
Lawbreakers was originally going to be free to play, but switched to a $30 price tag. But it was a bold move since it was entering a market, you called it, dominated by Overwatch.
And Paladins, like it you're not gonna
No.
dethrone those two. At
Overwatch
that
in
time.
And,
2017 was in its prime, I think.
Hey, is
and
Brink on this list?
And it said for whatever reason, he made the decision not to publish the game on Xbox One, where shooters at the time were extremely popular, and released it only for PC and PlayStation.
Oh, it's because he was butthurt.
Yeah, I think he was. Kick me out of Gears of War, will ya?
Yeah, that's pretty much.
So
Oh, how
yeah,
sad.
so the game had a peak player base of only 3,000 players by the time, and then a month later, after its release, was just down to 1,000 players. Dang.
Ooh. Looking through Twitter, they were giving out 50% off on December 18th, 2017. So I don't know how long after release that was.
Game's probably dead now.
Well, no, it's not. Their website's dead. I mean, if their servers
I
are
was gonna
down,
say,
you
yeah,
can't.
you
even
probably
play
can't even
I
play
mean,
it.
it says though that this is the most intriguing part to me of this whole game right here, is that it says probably the worst thing about its failure was that the game Lawbreaker was, by nearly all accounts, a very solid game. There wasn't issues. They just couldn't find the player base.
Well, it's like
What-
you can make a really good Overwatch clone, but it's still everybody's just going to
Paladins.
keep playing Overwatch.
Overwatch.
Hey,
Yep.
Josh, maybe you would know. What was the name of that game that Cliffy B made where it was like really over the top with like swearing and it was a first person shooter? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, Bulletstorm.
Bulletstorm. That's what it was.
Yeah.
That game wasn't awful.
It wasn't awful. It got a remake at one point.
Did it really?
Yeah, or a remaster, I should say. But
Interesting.
yeah.
Now there's only 3 more because you already named one in the top 3. Duke Nukem Forever.
Mhm.
Of course. course.
So that one. But another one, so that's not in the top 3, which is number 4, is called Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning.
Amalur.
Amalur. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I guess released in 2012. Developer was 38 Studios and Big Huge Games. Publishers 38 Studios and Electronic Arts. And the fallout of it was that the $125 million loss. Jeez, just even saying that amount of money is just like heart wrenching. And the studio ended up being closed. So
they did. EA did re-release it though. They did a remaster of that one too. I remember on PS4.
Yeah, they called it the Reckoning.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Really? I mean,
they're just trying to make that money back. Just like,
we'll
just release it as many times.
What's interesting to me is that I see right here that some of the people involved in the creation of it were like some really good authors, like I enjoy, like R.A. Salvatore, and then the person who created the movie Spawn. That they got
Todd McFarlane, or
Todd McFarlane. They pulled them in to help on this, and it was supposed to be a massive multiplayer game and kind of like a World of Warcraft style.
Yeah.
But it said that within 10 months, it did bring in jobs, right? But 2 years later, it had terrible sales figures. And it just couldn't maintain it, and it ended up being it ended up the investors themselves losing out on $50 million. Jeez.
Ridiculous.
Then number 3 was Duke Nukem Forever.
Yep.
Jeez, the title's so funny. I don't know what it is about it, but just like Duke
probably
Nukem
because
Forever.
It took forever to make.
Continue.
It looked like I didn't know if you were having a stroke or an orgasm with what you did right there. It was
both. It was both.
And so we already talked about that one. They lost it.
Mm-hmm.
Company closed, layoffs.
Yeah, 3D Realms just died.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And then I think you all talked about this game too, Daikatana.
Yep.
That was 2.
John Romero's swan song that just flopped completely.
Yep, that's a $25 million loss.
25.
It's pennies for these people nowadays.
And then number 1 was, again, you called it again. It was...
I didn't really call it. I read it on an article.
It was...
E.T.?
E.T.
Yeah.
Your finger was actually kind of glowing there.
Yeah, like
it was glowing. It's kind of weird.
Phone home.
Yep. And so it was E.T.
Andre's phone home.
I mean, it's crazy. You were investing so much money into these games, and it just flopped. I mean, the marketing one, that one sucks for that game. Like, the whole marketing team just left just like a few weeks before.
Especially since I played it. It's a great game, especially for that time. Like, that would have went over well.
Yeah,
I'm really sad that Uru was on that list. Like, I don't even like Uru, but like, I don't know. I get really sad when I see Myst fail. I have a Myst hoodie that I wear every day. I want you guys to know that. I love Myst so much. Every day. I mean, I won't now that it's warm out, but
no, it's good. Hey, Dom, do you mind if I ask you a question?
What's up?
You don't live in Utah, do you?
No.
Okay.
You're very funny.
That's good. They just because you can't look up porn there anymore.
I don't do it anyway.
Well, you seem to know that sound effect pretty well when we had
it right away.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You can't look up Pornhub. I'm sorry. Yes, that was the specific. Pornhub is banned in Utah. Now everybody knows. I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling pretty good and ready to close the curtains on the episode. How do you guys feel about that?
No, we gotta go for 4 more hours.
At least.
No, we're good.
At least.
Okay. All right, Reyes, keep it going.
No, we all know that Dom is not from Utah. He is from Southern California.
I'm definitely not there either, but we can say I am.
Because he says hella all the time.
He does.
That's hella not true.
Awesome. Well, guys, I appreciate you coming and hanging out tonight. Just a quick reminder of a few things. Game of the month you can enter. Just do ! GOTM in the chat, or visit us at linktr.ee/bucketbytes, or go to bucketbytes.gg. There's pages to enter and game of the month there. Our code again for the giveaway for first secret code is the word GREY, GREY. And as always, a huge shout out to our partners, sponsors, whatever you want to call them: Nuclear Coffee, Suggestive Gaming, and Dark Fusion Systems. And a quick reminder, if you do check out Dark Fusion, make sure you mention our name.
Mention us.
You'll get $50 off of your next build. So
mention our names individually. Say
each one of us.
Andreas, Josh, Ryan, and Dominic sent me.
Mm-hmm.
And also say from Bucket Bytes, just to...
Don't say Bucket Bytes. Say our names individually.
Josh is giving bad advice.
You know,
don't listen to him.
No, say Bucket
you
Bytes.
Could say, or you could say, Sugar G.
Sugar G. You can bring that up.
Daddy.
Everybody knows Sugar G.
Dr. Hershey's Kiss. That's me.
But how much?
Dreamboat Dom.
Dreamboat Dom. Sexy Boy Ryan Post. How much would you get off of that build fee post?
It's $50 today.
$50 off the build fee.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
pretty
and
nice.
that, just so you guys know, that code runs until the end of the month. That discount, that $50.
Give them a call if you're interested in boutique custom PCs with a small form factor. Contact Dark Fusion. Some of the coolest guys I've ever met and worked with myself, and I can vouch for their work. Give Dark Fusion a call.
Absolutely.
Even if
he knows what he's talking about.
Exactly. Even if you're just looking to get into gaming on a PC, and you're like, I don't want this giant rig, like sitting on my floor or on my desk or whatever. Give him a call.
Absolutely. Is that a Silent Hill 2 in the background?
Vinyl?
Josh?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Someone just bought one of those the other day. I thought I saw. Was that you?
Yeah, it was me.
That was you. Okay. Anyways, I appreciate all of you. Check us out next week. We will be live on Saturday instead of Friday, the 20th at 10 a.m. Central with Devecki Studios to talk about all things Devecki, their games, gaming in general, and what are they up to? Maybe we'll have some challenges for them. It'll be a good time. I appreciate all of you, and until next time, I'm Papa. That's Josh, Reyes, and Dom. See you later. Bucket Bytes is recorded in front of a live Twitch audience over at twitch.tv/bucketbytes. You can also find us on our link tree, linktr.ee/bucketbytes, where you can find all of our social medias and also some merchandise, and the newly founded www.bucketbytes.gg. It's where you can listen to all of our podcast episodes in your web browser. Stay tuned for a quick sneak peek at what's going to be given to our Patreon supporters for a little bit of extra content this week. We like to record before and after the episodes, so you can just kind of see what goes on before the shows. Thank you for listening. I'm Papa. Goodbye.
And I hope you know, Postboy, I had a couple people I was talking to this week confirming that I don't want my asshole waxed.
No, you do.
No, he does. That's what his wife told me.
Yeah.
So for his bachelor party, we're getting just him. We're gonna watch.